at Riverfront. Lindsey Nelson with Paul Horning here at Cincinnati on a cold day on which we had some snow. Paul, both these teams have had trouble with their running game.
They sure have, and as far as the quarterbacks are concerned, Lindsey, Joe Pisarcik, I think he throws a home run ball a lot, just much too much. I think he needs a lot more discipline in his passing game.
What about Anderson?
Well, Anderson, of course, is one of the most disciplined quarterbacks of all time. He's not having his best year. He's only thrown 4 touchdown passes. That's the lowest figure in the AFC. As far as the running game is concerned, I think both these teams will try to keep it on the ground. I know when talking, we're sneaked around this morning trying to find out who was going to do what to who, and I understand Cincinnati's going to try to run the football today.
What about the field? Now, it's artificial turf, it's cold, they've got practically all the snow off. Will that affect the running game?
I think it will affect the running game. I think it moves the Giants up a little bit. You know, they haven't been playing too poorly on defense. Actually, that front four, I'm impressed with the front four of New York. I think they've got a great future ahead of them. Troy Archer especially, and Mendenhall in the middle. They're a fine pair. All
right, let's take a look now down at the field. Teeing the ball up, the Cincinnati Bengals on the 35-yard line. Chris Barr will kick it off. And retreating, you see Hammond there going center deep to receive it for the New York Giants. The officials here, Cal Lepore is the head man. He is a veteran official in the National Football League. Chris Barr ready to kick off and start this game in Cincinnati, Ohio. Bell is waiting, and he's got it at the 3-yard line. He's back to the 10, to the 15, and he is across the 20-yard line. So it'll start 1st and 10 at the 22-yard line for the New York Giants. Cameron downfield to make the tackle. That's the offensive line now for the Giants. Gravel, Van Horn, Chandler, Hicks, and Michalajczak. And it's going to be Perkins at a wide receiver, Robinson at a wide receiver, and Shirk is the tight end for the Giants. Perkins starting. Pisarcik, Coder, and Zaka are the setbacks. Pisarcik trying to keep his hands a little warm here on a cold day in Cincinnati. Zaka's the up back, and Coder is on the tail of the tandem, 1st and 10. Here is Coder carrying. And he got not much as he tried to turn upfield just about to the line of scrimmage. Gary Burley made the tackle, and there is the defensive front four. Burley, Johnson, Whitley, Bacon. Linebackers are Harris, LeClaire, and Williams. And the deep backs, Morgan, Riley, Casanova, and Cobb are the safeties, of course. 2nd down and 10 yards to go at the 22-yard line. Zaka in a right set, Coder in a left set for the Giants. Pisarcik. And it is completed. First completed pass of the day. Moves it up just short of the 29-yard line. Marvin Cobb coming over to make the tackle on Shirk.
Here it is again. Pisarcik, that's what we were talking about. A little play action, bootleg to the left side. Kept his cool, stepped right up into the pocket. Just a little delay over the middle to his tight end. Going to bring up 3rd and about 4.
Well, they spotted in advance to the 27, short of the 28-yard line. A big 3rd down play coming here now. They're in an I formation. Zaka ahead of Coder. Penalty marker is thrown. Coder is hit before he could get to the line of scrimmage, but there was a marker, a linesman's flag to be checked out.
Yeah, you're going to see a lot of that today, Lindsey. We saw someone slip there. This field is going to be very, very slippery.
Against the Giants, of course, and it's being declined, and so the punting unit has come onto the field.
Offside, 86, penalty decline, 4th down.
Dave Jennings has averaged 40.9. He gets it off. Tony Davis is back there deep. Davis has it at the 34, to 35 across the 40, and he dives up to the 43-yard line. The Cincinnati Bengals will start 1st and 10 at the 43.
I don't know if I'll be on the air.
It was Ellenbogen downfield to make the tackle. There's the offensive line now for the Bengals. May, Shinners, Johnson, Lapham, and Holland. McAnally, Bob Brooks, and Trumpy are the receivers. Anderson, Archie Griffin, and Pete Johnson.
Chuck, can you hear me?
I think it's Booby Clark. Dropping back is Anderson with a long pass downfield to Brooks. Brooks has got it, and he's gone for a touchdown. On the first play from scrimmage, a touchdown pass from Anderson to Brooks. Bill Bryant, the cornerback.
That's 48 yards, Lindsay. First play from scrimmage. A beauty. Here's Anderson, play action. He fakes to the fullback. Everybody stays in. Almost did not pick up the blitz. And Brooks just outruns Billy Bryant on the corner and just trots in. Easy score for Cincinnati.
They had the ball in their own territory, so make it 58. We have a conversion attempt coming now. Chris Barr, who is 16 for 16 in the point-after department with Marvin Cobb holding. Cincinnati Bengals are on the scoreboard early. Barr boots it, and it's good. So as they come back up the field here in Cincinnati, Ohio, it is the Bengals 7 and the Giants nothing. We have 13 minutes 11.
Now, let me tell you something. I've eaten the dust of many a rodeo, and I built up some kind of a thirst. That's why I drink light beer from Miller. It has a third less calories than a regular beer, and it tastes real good. Light says giddy up to all that flavor, and woe to being filled up. And that ain't no book.
What? Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
You don't have to lose sleep worrying about that drive to work tomorrow. Not when you've got Firestone Snowbiters going with you. To dig you out and pull you through, they've got 2 sets of deep biting teeth. And in between, traction bars for quiet running and long mileage. In radials, bias, or retreads, they'll put teeth in your winter driving. Firestone Town & Country Snowbiters. Pleasant dreams.
Chris Barr will kick off now for the Bengals. Hammond and Bell are the deep men for the Giants. So to Hammond's side of the field. Hammond in the end zone, bobbles the ball. He doesn't have to run it out, and he will not. It's a touchback. 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line. Ken Anderson trying to stay warm.
Lindsay, they catch the Giants perfect in a perfect blitz situation. That means man-to-man on the corner, and Billy Bryant just gets beat here by the speed of Billy Brooks. Actually, Brooks is only the only deep threat that Cincinnati has today. Just an easy 6.
So it is 1st and 10 now for the Giants. They started Jimmy Robinson and Johnny Perkins at the wide receivers here today. With Gary Shirk as the tight end, they split the running back, Zonka and Coder. Pisarcik is the quarterback. Coder has the right side and gets across the 20 for a couple of yards before he is stacked up by the Cincinnati Bengals. Picked up 2 yards on the play, so it'll be 2nd down and 8 at the 22. Gary Burley in there on the last tackle, along with Coy Bacon. Bacon right there.
Had a great year last year with sacks. He's not too happy with the whole play, and he's been very outspoken around Cincinnati, the papers, about the overall play of the Bengals.
This is Coder on a sweep left, and he is at the 25 and goes out of bounds with the 1st down. All he had to do was get to the 30. Bob Hammond, I beg your pardon. Bob Hammond it was. Reggie Williams on the tackle. Bob Hammond is in that backfield.
Good play here. Here's a little reverse to the halfback. He's got everybody out in front. There's Zonka. Zonka gets a standoff block, enabling Hammond to pick up the 1st down.
So Hammond, who has rushed for 397 yards this year, the leading rusher for the Giants, has averaged 3.7, and he's picked up a 1st down. 1st and 10 now. And the ball is at the 30-yard line. Sarchik brings him up. Here is Coder. Out of bounds at the 26-yard line. Coy Bacon there. Backed up by Reggie Williams.
Well, they got outside of Coy Bacon on the last play for the first down, but not this time. That's Reggie Williams, the linebacker, and Coy Bacon. The block of Gordon Gravel, he couldn't turn him in, and Coy Bacon does the rest with the help from Reggie Williams. Lindsay, I've noticed they've got Eddie Edwards, a rookie out of Miami, in there. They didn't waste any time. He's been in the hospital for on and off for the last 2 or 3 weeks with chest pains, and they really didn't know what happened. This is his first week back, and they're starting him right away.
Ran all sorts of tests, and he was given a clean bill of health yesterday. Pisarcik throwing on the run to Coder, and Coder is at the 28, 29-yard line. Pulled out of bounds on the far side by Ray Phillips. It's going to be third and long still. Giants right now have Doug Coder and Bob Hammond in the same backfield, as they have tried all sorts of combinations throughout the year, but Zonka is not in there, and it's Coder and Hammond in the backfield just now for the Giants.
Zonka's only caught one pass all year long, and when you have a fullback that only catches one pass, the way they play football today, Lindsey, you've got to throw to both of your backs, so that defense can take too much advantage of it. Here's a little double wing.
Third and 11. Pisarcik now, right over there to Hammond, and Hammond is up to the 33.5, but that will bring the punting unit on as Lamar Parrish made the tackle, and Jennings leads the punting unit on for the Giants. Tony Davis has dropped back. Tony Davis has dropped back to receive the punt now for Cincinnati. And dropping back there with him is Willie Shelby. And on the far side, Jerry Anderson. So they've got 3 deep. Davis.
Beauty.
At the 22-yard line. Davis to the 25 to the 30. 35. And he is stopped at the 40-yard line. So it is first and 10 for the Bengals. They had the ball at their own 40-yard line. Jim Peterzak was downfield to make the tackle. He makes the snap from center in deep punt formation, and then he got downfield to make the stop on a 44-yard punt.
Ford introduces the new Futura. A dramatic combination of styling and technology for 1978 and beyond. Futura. Its striking design is the result of computer modeling and extensive aerodynamic testing. Its excellent fuel economy results in part from the use of high-strength, low-alloy metals in Futura's construction. And Futura's ride is the result of a newly created advanced front suspension system. Futura. In a world where cars are looking more and more alike, it represents a change. A dramatic combination of styling and technology for 1978 and beyond. Realistically priced for today. See your Ford dealer for a personal test drive.
Now, if you wonder why there is snow on the center of the field, it's simply that when the ground crew got here this morning, there was 2 inches all over the tarp, and the center part was taken off first. It was still snowing. So that's what fell after the tarp was removed. They're trying to sweep the line clean. That's what they're trying to do. They've got the line showing.
I'm glad you said that, because I was wondering that myself. You got here earlier than I did.
First and 10 at the 40-yard line. Booby Clark, along with Archie Griffin in that backfield, and it's Booby Clark. Gets through to the 43.
Flag down.
Harry Carson in to make the stop.
He's been a bright spot in that New York Giant defense.
Offsides against the Giants. That'll move it up to the 45 and make it first and 5 for the Cincinnati Bengals.
Well, Cincinnati's belief is they can win the next 2 ball games. This one, and of course they travel to Kansas City next week, and they'll have a big showdown with Pittsburgh.
Number 10.
Martin, Mendenhall, Archer, and Gregory, the defensive line for the Giants. It's Van Pelt, Carson, and Kelly, the linebackers. And the D-backs are Bryant, Rhodes, Powers, and Sankey. Brooks to the right side here. Mike Daniels on a wide left for the Bengals. Quarterback by Anderson. Archie Griffin. inside the 25 at the 24-yard line. Archie Griffin, two-time Heisman Trophy winner at Ohio State. First and 10 at the 24.
He reminds me a lot of Tony Dorsett. They are both the same type. Quickness, watch this. Roll out, draw to the left side. Look at the block on Troy Archer from the left tackle, Rufus Mays, enabling Griffin to get into the secondary. Number 20 finally pulls him down, Jim Steineke, with help from 29.
Steineke and Powers. So it's first and 10 at the 24-yard line. Bobby Clark, penalty marker, a linesman's flag is thrown as he got just to the line of scrimmage. Harry Carson there, middle linebacker for the Giants. Offsides against the Giants. That'll make it first and 5, move it to the 19-yard line.
Perfect position for especially a quarterback like Anderson. First and 5, a throwaway down.
The Bengals are here and trying to keep warm like everybody else. Cal Lepore, the referee.
Encroachment, 29. Defense lining up offside. It's a first down.
That's the safety man, Linz.
That's the safety man lined up offsides, Clyde Powers.
That was Archie Griffin's longest run of the year, by the way, 31 yards.
Griffin came in with only 275 yards for the year. First and 5 at the 19. On a delay, they tried the draw to Archie, and Griffin is stacked up. Troy Archer got to him that time for the Giants. About a yard on the play. And make it second and 4. This telecast is presented by authority of the National Football League, is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Cincinnati Bengals and the National Football League is prohibited. Second down, 4 yards to go. Archie Griffin in motion to the right. Bobby Clark, off tackle, and drives to the 15-yard line.
Here it is, Brad Van Pelt playing off the guard's block, pulls back to the inside, stops him. It's going to be very close to the first down. Going to be a little bit short. Going to bring up third and about a half a yard.
So now they'll run a double tight end alignment here. Mike Cobb has come in. They've also got Pete Johnson in there. He's the leading rusher, and Tony Davis. Johnson and Davis. And it's Johnson for the first and 10, but a linesman's flag is down. He moved to the 12-yard line. Van Pelt made the stop, but there is a linesman's flag. So again, Cal Lepore indicates offsides. Giants. The Giants continue.
That's a third offside penalty for the New York Giants here in the first two series, Lindsay. And somebody's just a little bit too close to that football.
That'll make it, of course, a first down. It was a 3rd and 1. Cal Lepore, the referee now.
Encroachment, 55. On the defense, lining up offside, first down.
The linebacker Brian Kelly lined up offsides. It's first down and goal to go right at the 10-yard line. This is Lindsey Nelson with Paul Horning at Riverfront Stadium in Cincinnati, Ohio. McDaniel to a far left. Griffin and Bobby Clark are back in there at the running backs. Bobby Clark. Touchdown for Bobby Clark.
Oh, hard running by Bobby Clark.
Van Pelt assisted him along the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Well, he kept his balance. 245 pounds going against Brad Van Pelt, about 230, and Bobby Clark just was not to be denied to that end zone. Just zone blocking up front. Bobby Clark's got a nice hole. Brad Van Pelt over there. There's the safety man, misses the tackle. Pelt comes back. That's Brian Kelly, and he drags Kelly into the end zone.
We had an official casualty on the same drive, and now it's going to be a conversion attempt by Chris Barr with Marvin Cobb holding. And it's good. And so now, the Cincinnati Bengals have taken a lead of 14-0, and we have 7 minutes, 49 seconds remaining to be played in the first quarter.
Oh, great run.
Mr. Highboom.
Huh?
Mr. Highboom.
Yes?
Yeah, look, we understand that you're taking a trip with us tomorrow.
Trip?
Yeah, well, we want you to know that Avis is working right now.
Avis?
It's vacuuming your car, checking the oil, brakes, even the air in the spare tire.
Spare tire.
One of the ways Avis tries harder is working at night, so you're ready in the morning. Yeah. Oh, by the way, it's a Chrysler Cordoba, and it's blue. See you in the morning.
See you in the morning.
We try harder, Avis, we don't know another way.
The Quintrix 2-color picture tube from Panasonic brings you a very lifelike picture. Because Quintrix 2 is our inline picture tube with an extra pre-focus lens that concentrates and focuses the electron beam to bring you Panasonic's sharpest picture ever. So lifelike, you may even feel you're part of the picture. Quintrix 2, one more reason Panasonic is just slightly ahead of our time.
A scientist with superhuman strength. The all-new adventure. The return of the Incredible Hulk. Monday at 8, 7 Central and Mountain.
Cincinnati, 4 plays, total yards 60, and they had the ball 2 minutes, 14 seconds. Chris Barr will kick off. Bell and Hammond at the deep end for the Giants. It's over to Hammond's side of the field. Bob Hammond at the 6-yard line. He's back to the 10, to the 15, to the 20. Hammond across the 25 to the 30. And Hammond returns it to the 34-yard line. So the Giants will start their first and 10. A light snow shower is falling right now here at Riverfront Stadium in Cincinnati. The prediction was for 2 inches more of snow this afternoon. It is increasing in intensity at the moment. So the ball is just in advance, just short of the 34, in advance to the 33-yard line. Cincinnati leading by 14 points here. Midway of the first quarter, Spasarchik comes up. 59 for 147, a completion percentage of 40.7. And the long pass now, and it is incomplete. As they tried the dipsy doodle, Lamar Parrish covered, and Johnny Perkins is the man for whom it was intended. That's the dipsy doodle pass play for Sargent, way downfield.
I'll tell you one thing, he's got a strong arm, Lindsey. He threw this about 65 yards in the air, almost intercepted, and then it almost bobbles right into the hands of Perkins.
It'll be 2nd and 10 now for the Giants. Los Angeles 6, Cleveland nothing in the first quarter. The Rams are out front.
That's just what Cincinnati wants, isn't it?
Little contact before the snap. Jerry Shirk, you saw, make some contact. Whether he was drawn off or not, I don't know. Coy Bacon was over there. Procedure against the Giants.
Yeah, the Giants are having trouble. There's the first quarter score. New England 7, Philadelphia nothing. That's 4 offside penalties now against the Giants for 20 yards.
Second down and 5 yards to go back at the 28. The Giants sideline.
Nice shirt.
Much tougher on those defensive backs on a field like this. If you make one mistake and it's 6.
Henry Moore here's in a wide left. Pasarchik is throwing, and it's incomplete. Covering defensively Lamar Parrish, the veteran, intended over there for Jimmy Robinson. So it'll be 3rd and 5 at the 28-yard line. Pasarchik has the lowest completion percentage of any starting quarterback in the National Football League.
Well, they still have confidence in this young man out of New Mexico. He's a rookie. Pittsburgh 6, the Jets 3, first quarter.
Cincinnati Bengals, when they look ahead, they see Pittsburgh down the line.
They sure do. 2 weeks from today, right here.
3rd down and 5. I beg your pardon, 15. 3rd and 15. Pasarchik. He is knocked down.
Burley. Harry Burley.
Harry Burley.
And Lindsey, that's been the Giants' problem all year long. That's a 44th sack of the year. They rank 2nd in the NFL. Protecting the pass was 2nd worst figure in the NFL. There's Burley on a little stunt. He sacks Pasarchik.
Burley earlier this year, the man who Jack Fran Tarkenton of the Minnesota Vikings, and that resulted in a broken leg. Back to do the punting is Dave Jennings, and Davis has dropped back along with Shelby. Davis at the 39 to the 40. Davis across the 45 to the 46-yard line, and the Bengals will start their 1st and 10. Dan Lloyd downfield to make the tackle for the Giants, a 43-yard punt for Dave Jennings. 6 minutes, 53 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Cincinnati is leading by a score of 14-0.
An excellent field position again. Excellent field position for the Cincinnati Bengals.
And it's that kind of day. You jog along to try to stay warm in Cincinnati.
This fresh egg is going to help us sell this brand new Freeflex shoe from Freeman. Watch. You can do it with any new Freeman Freeflex. Let's use the same egg.
This realistic 40-channel CB radio is on sale right now at your nearby Radio Shack for the unbelievable low price of $49.95. That's 50% off our catalog price. And our realistic Model 466 is ready to use on all 40 CB channels. For under $50, get the convenience and security of two-way CB communication today. The sale-priced realistic 40-channel CB radio, only at Radio Shack, a Tandy company.
Paul, I suppose that's what the natives wear.
Yeah, I guess so. He's dressed for the weather. Johnny Bent's a young number 5 is what we call him. How you doing, John? We'll talk to you in a little bit.
And that's what you wear if you happen to be along there. You can see the snow falling, and it's falling steadily here in Cincinnati. A 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Atlanta 3, Tampa Bay nothing in the first quarter. Kenny Anderson.
Reverse.
Fake the reverse, and Archie Griffin's got the football. Skates his way up across the 50-yard line and down to about the 46 or 7. George Martin forced him out of bounds. It's going to be spotted at the 47, 46-yard line. So make it second down about a yard and a half. Bengals are leading 14-0. They have the ball in Giant territory. I'll tell you, Paul Horning, there is a little snow falling in the booth here on occasion.
I love it. You know, I think this is good football weather, though, Lindsay. You're going to have to play in it sooner or later.
Man spends a lot of years in Green Bay, loves any kind of weather.
We used to love this kind of weather. It slowed everybody else up to our pace.
Boobie Clark is carrying, and he gets across for a 1st and 10. Across the 45-yard line, Bill Bryant and Van Pelt made the tackle. Well, it's going to be spotted, and they'll take a look now for the possible first down where it's spotted, but I think it is.
End zone shot, Lindsay, coming up. Just zone blocking off the right side. Boobie Clark slips to the outside for the first down.
They're going to measure.
He's got it.
Oh, he's got it by an inch or two. Well, the CBS Sports Spectacular next Saturday at 5 p.m., the International Record Makers Tournament of Weightlifting. One of the big events, and then we'll have the World's Strongest Men competition as well.
Oh, that's a good one. They're going to be lifting refrigerators. I understand. I'll tell you one thing, it'd go right in handy right here.
CBS Sports Spectacular. First down and 10 yards to go. That's Archie Griffin again. Archie Griffin down to the 32-yard line. Carson and Gregory finally brought him down.
Good blocking, 14-yard pickup by Archie Griffin. Look at the cross block here. Center blocks left, the guard pulls, and Griffin's got a good hole. And then he's converged. He had a little clothesline thrown at him by Clyde Powers, finally brought down by Jack Gregory. Now watch him take out Mendenhall here on the cross block. See, they get a standoff with the tackle, and he runs right by Mendenhall there.
Spotted at the 31-yard line, 1st and 10 out of an I formation. Griffin again to the left side. Picked up about a yard down to the 30 where he's pushed back. Pittsburgh 6 and the Jets 6 in the first quarter. Brian Kelly and Jack Gregory made the tackle for the Giants. The snow is falling steadily here now in Cincinnati, and the artificial turf is losing its greenery. Davis is coming to the ball game. Shinners is coming at guard. McAnally's coming at end.
Yeah, Griffin's got 56 yards now. About 6 carries.
Pete Johnson, Tony Davis. Beg your pardon, it is only Davis as a setback. I got Brooks set on the slot right. McDaniel is a wide right. And dropping back. Anderson.
Wide open.
Brooks has got it for the touchdown. Second touchdown of the day for Billy Brooks.
They just overloaded the right side, Lindsey, and tried to get a man-on-man situation with Billy Brooks, and that's exactly what they got. Now Brooks is lined up to the left of your screen. Good pass protection. Anderson sitting back. Watch Brooks break to the inside. He's wide open right there. Number 22 is Ray Rhodes.
Dragged him right on across the goal line into the end zone. It's the third touchdown of the day.
Second for Billy Brooks and his third touchdown pass on the year.
Chris Barr is in to kick. Marvin Cobb is holding.
It's a lot of pressure on the defensive backs, Lindsey, on a field like this. You hear so many announcers say, well, the offense knows where it's going, and the defense has got to give a little bit more ground. One slip on a field like this, and you're all over.
It is no good. It is wide, no good.
He hooked it to the left.
And so, as they come back up the field, it's 20-0.
See, they're having a little confusion lining up. I think they have not seen this before. This is the last play here. Show where they lined up.
So the Bengals now will kick off as the Cincinnatis have taken a 20-0 lead. We have 4 minutes, 52 seconds remaining to be played in the first quarter. And the sweepers are out to try to get the line straightened out. Anderson, 2 for 2 in the air, 88 yards and 2 touchdowns as they will clear the line so that the ball may be properly spotted. One thing about broadcasting a football game on a field that's covered with snow, you have about as good a chance as guessing where the ball is as the officials do.
I tell you, in another 10 minutes, it's going to be completely covered. You can barely see the 30-yard line. Not barely. It's pretty good from our vantage point here, but if you're looking at it without that TV set, it's tough.
Chris Barr puts it up. He's got Hammond and Bell deep, and Gordon Bell is waiting. He's got it at the 3-yard line. He's across the 10, the 15, the 20, 25, 30, and Gordon Bell is pulled down. First down and 10 yards to go. You can relive Johnny Cash's all-time favorite Christmases as Johnny gathers his family and friends. Roy Clark, Jerry Lee Lewis, Roy Orbison, Carl Perkins, and the Sadler Brothers for a delightful Christmas special Wednesday at 10, 9 Central and Mountain Time. One of your favorites.
Oh, Roy Orbison. Pretty woman, gonna walk on by.
Don't quit your day job. First down and 10 yards to go. Cutter is pushed way back. It'll be spotted up there, I think, about the 38-yard line. Jim LeClaire, middle linebacker, was there.
Chris Barr, the fine kicker for the Cincinnati Bengals, who incidentally was 3 out of 3 last week. Field goals 44, 43, and 42. Just missed that extra point. That's his first miss of the year.
Willie Spencer was in for the one play, but he just left the field. And we've got Cutter in the up-back spot now, and it's going to be Bob Hammond at tailback. Second down and 10 yards to go. Now it's a screen left, taken by Johnny Perkins. And Johnny Perkins is up near midfield as Wilson Whitley came in to make the stop.
This is a screen left. Good shot out of there. The snap. Did it fake? Here comes your lineman out underneath. That's Gardner Gravel. Perkins jumps over it, gets up very close to the first down. 75 Wilson Whitley on the stop.
It's going to be third and less than a yard to go.
Boy, they got 2 rookies playing on the inside, the Bengals. Atlanta, second quarter, looks like Tampa Bay, another consecutive loss. There's somebody who's ready for this.
They've done know him. It's third down and a yard to go.
That's regular wear up in Green Bay. I've seen that all my life.
Willie Spencer's back in there and a set left now. Think they picked it up. Gave it to the big man, Larry Zonka, and Zonka got the first and 10, his first carry of the day. That is only the 83rd time that Zonka's carried the ball this year.
I tell you, it's got to be tough for Larry, too. You know, he's been one of the great backs in the National Football League, and it's tough picking up yards. He's not the same guy that played with the Miami Dolphins, but, of course, when you're called upon also time and time again, Lindsey, it's 3rd and 1, it's 4th and a half a yard. You know, those are the tough yards to pick up.
You don't fool a lot of people.
No, they know he's coming.
This is Hammond. He slips on the cut. Bob Hammond wanted to cut and drive, but he slipped on the cut for a loss on the play. Eddie Edwards there to make the stop.
Well, it's tough enough playing on a field like this if it's 0-0, but when you're trying to come from behind 20 points, even in the first quarter, well, Lindsey, just can't get out of your game plan. You got to do what you've seen in the films the last couple of weeks. If you find a crack in that defense, you got to take advantage of it for 3 and 4. You just can't go out there and play helter-skelter and try to catch up with the home run.
2nd and 12 at the 47-yard line. Pisarcik over the middle to Hammond, incomplete. Trying to give it his back. It'll be 3rd and 12 at the 47-yard line. The Alls has had Zonka out there as a potential pass receiver. Gary Burley was putting the pressure on Pisarcik,
as he has done all this first quarter. Burley's got a sack.
We have 1 minute 48 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Cincinnati is leading by a score of 20-0.
Joe 4 out of 7 for 21 yards. There's that reverse cutter.
Hammond trying to execute his block on the corner there.
Yeah, Reggie Williams did a fine job. Outside linebacker on the right side. Let's take a look from the end zone here. Here comes Coulter around the left side. Let's see if we can pick up. They try to double team Reggie Williams here. Makes a real fine play. Shoves him out of bounds. Short, of course.
Jennings is coming to do the punting now for the Giants. Davis is dropped back center deep. He's got Anderson on one side and Shelby on the other. Over to the far side. And it hit.
It touched him, I think.
Touched.
It's a live football, boys.
I think it is. Campbell is on there at the 10-yard line, and Cincinnati got the ball. Jerry Anderson was the man who was hit with the ball.
Lindsey, that's exactly what the Giants were hoping for. There's Mike McCormick, former head coach of the Eagles, on the sidelines, and the Bengals get a big break here. That's exactly what New York wanted. Have a turnover down there close and try to get back into this game. A 35-yard punt. Jennings did his job.
Tony Davis is the man who finally recovered the football. As you see, Bill Johnson well covered there with the Parker on, the head coach of these Cincinnati Bengals. Tiger Bill. That's Boobie Clark and Archie Griffin, the setbacks. Archie Griffin's got the football. Pass for 3 yards out to the 13, where it'll be 2nd down and 7 yards to go. It was Brian Kelly, right outside linebacker, who made the stop. Snow is falling heavily here in Cincinnati. John Schinner is coming in there at guard now for the Bengals. John McDaniel to a wide right. Billy Brooks is in a wide left. Again, it's Archie Griffin. Got him across the 20 for a 1st and 10, a whirling dervish.
Oh, he displayed his Heisman Trophy for him that time. The only guy to ever win 2 Heisman trophies. And Griffin's having a good day out there. He's enjoying it. He doesn't care about the weather, I'll tell you. This is a fine run here. by the second-year man from Ohio State. Watch him. Troy Archer breaks out of that tackle, breaks out of a tackle from Jack Gregory, and spinning on this field, too, Lindsey.
Mendenhall finally got to him on the bottom of the sack there, and it's going to be 1st and 10 at the 22.
Picked up 8 yards. We think.
Boobie Clark stopped at the 24. George Martin made the tackle. And there's the gun sounding at the end of the period. So that is the end of the first quarter here in Cincinnati. And the score is the Bengals 20 and the Giants nothing.
The Bell system recognizes that many seemingly unrelated business problems are really communications problems in disguise. So we've provided our account representatives with the skills and equipment they need to take a company's problems and our solutions to them and fit them together into a total communications system. For we firmly believe that in solving problems for companies like yours, the system is the solution.
A guy I know tells me this new Sunbeam adjustable groomer razor is the greatest shaver ever made. Well, I say, so what? I'm a blade man. He says, try it and you won't be. He's right.
Here's how Sunbeam's new groomer razor works. 12 stainless steel blades cut at 8,000 strokes a minute through the thinnest shaving head you can get. Stands whiskers up and shears them off, at or below the skin line.
You a blade guy? Try this. It may be the last time you use a blade.
I was asked to talk about the incredible Black & Decker Workmate. There's almost nothing it can't hold. But the Workmate is so incredible, I'm going to let it do the talking.
The Workmate from Black & Decker and nobody else. When America has a job to do, it reaches for Black & Decker.
Well, it's a day for all the fur parkers you can find.
Right. That's not Phyllis George, is it?
I don't think so. It'll be second out and 8 yards to go. Lindsey Nelson with Paul Horning here in Cincinnati as we start the second quarter. The Bengals lead 20-0. They have it second and 8 at their own 24. Move Boobie Clark over a little bit. Anderson back. Brooks has got it. Brooks has got it across the 50 and over into Giant territory. Clyde Powers made the stop.
Brooks just killing the Giants.
Holding is indicated against the Giants against Cincinnati on the play. Holding against the Bengals will nullify the long pass play.
Well, this field is not hurting the throwing of Ken Anderson. We can see that. He just toes back, got good pass protection. And the receivers just has eaten the secondary alive.
Cal Lepore, the referee, marking off the penalty.
Holding 64. Offense, second down.
John Shinners.
Let's take a look, see if we can pick it up on the left side. 71 is Rufus Mays. There it is. 64, John Shiners.
Second down and 18 yards to go, 17 yards to go. Not much. Archie Griffin. Troy Archer made the tackle. That's Griffin.
Big smile.
Picked up a yard. It's 3rd and 16.
.67 yards now for Archie Griffin.
Boobie Clark. Got one or two.
They'll punt it away.
Archer made the stop, and the punting unit comes on. Pat McAnally will do the punting. He's a second-year man from Harvard who has averaged 40.6. Hammond is back there. Bob Hammond to receive the punt for the Giants, who have 10 men on the line of scrimmage. up about midfield and is bounding around there, and there will be no return. So the Giants get it about midfield here early in the second quarter.
35-yard punt, no return.
We have now 13:22 remaining to be played in the first half here at Riverfront Stadium in Cincinnati, Ohio.
Ten years ago, no one knew me. I was part of the famous no-name defense. Then we built our reputation by being fast. Now, I don't want to lose that. I drink light beer from Miller because it doesn't fill me up, has a third less calories than a regular beer, and it tastes great. Now everyone knows me.
Hey, I know you. You're,
Nick Bonacani.
No, that's not it.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
When you're looking for tires that put teeth in winter driving, drop in on the Snowbiters at Firestone. Look at them, 2 sets of deep biting teeth that really gobble up snow, but they don't take a bite out of you. Right now, a polyester cord Snowbiter is just $20 plus federal excise tax, and you can charge them. For quiet running, long mileage, and plenty of traction, Firestone Town and Country Snowbiters.
First and 10 for the Giants. They held the ball at the 48-yard line. Pittsburgh is leading the Jets 13-6 in the second quarter. Zonka and Hammond are the setbacks in the ball game for the Giants. Joe Pisarcik is the quarterback. Pisarcik trying to get it to Robinson, but it was deflected.
Bo Harris
Bo
almost had the interception, Lindsey.
Second down and 10 yards to go. Bo Harris from LSU.
Got a teammate playing back in that secondary also, Tommy Casanova, another LSU man, and we'll have LSU down in the Sun Bowl. I think Tommy Casanova played in the Sun Bowl, didn't he?
Yes, he did. He played there on the game we carried on CBS a few years ago. Second down and 10 yards to go. They're in the slot right, go to a wing left. That's Hammond over there. Coder's the other back, and Coder's on the delay, but he was hit immediately by Wilson Whitley. The rookie from Houston popped him when he got the ball.
Wilson Whitley, everybody's All-American last year, lineman of the year, won the Vince Lombardi Trophy out of Houston. 75, 6'3", 265 pounds, and a great defensive tackle. He's got a big future in this league, Lindsey.
You and I saw a lot of him in the Cotton Bowl for CBS last year.
Sure did. You know, he doesn't have a sack all year long, and it's not that he's playing poorly. And actually, Cincinnati coaches can't figure out he's quick. He has not had a sack all year long.
Pisarcik on a 3rd and 12 up the middle, and it's completed to Coder. Reggie Williams made the stop.
Come up a little bit short.
Going to be short, and the punting unit comes on for the Giants. Dave Jennings comes out to do the punting.
It's getting messy now.
Davis is center deep. He's got Anderson on one side of him, and he has got Shelby on the other. Pass out.
Great job by Jennings just getting it. Hitting.
That's Davis. Gets out there to about the 14-yard line.
And Tony Davis was very lucky, Lindsey. He made a bad decision in retrieving the football. He should have let it go into the end zone. And it almost cost him 6. It could have cost him 2. Very lucky.
11:40 left to play in the first half.
The best-selling American-made small car versus Japan's best-sellers.
Hello, I'm Jackie Stewart at Indianapolis, where the best-selling Japanese cars competed head-to-head against the best-selling small car made in America, Ford Pinto. In 2 driving tests certified by the United States Auto Club, which car performed best? Let's find out. In the truck passing test, a 78 Ford Pinto moved out and passed, quicker than a Datsun B210. Passed quicker than Toyota Corolla. Passed quicker than Honda Civic. In the highway entrance test, which car accelerated to the highway speed first? Pinto. Faster than Datsun. Faster than Toyota. Faster than Honda. And 78 Pintos now have added features and are sticker priced lower than last year. Check out the complete line of Ford Pintos yourself at your local Ford dealers. Another better idea from Ford.
Everybody is dead.
Robert Redford. Everyone he trusts will try to kill him in 3 Days of the Condor on the CBS Sunday Night Movies at 9, 8 Central and Mountain.
On a high snap from center. Now watch what happens when a guy thinks he almost blocked the kick. That's Gary Burley right there. He thought that Bengals almost had a block. Look at him.
He's trying to keep warm. Right. It's 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Pete Johnson's in that backfield now for the Cincinnati Bengals. Archie Griffin's got the football. Got it out there to the 17-yard line. Brian Kelly and John Mendenhall brought him down. 2nd and 7 at the 17-yard line. Archie Griffin and Pete Johnson in the backfield, former teammates at Ohio State. Johnson, and that was the helmet that came out of the stack, and there's a penalty marker on the play. Holding is indicated against the Bengals. 10-yard penalty. Mendenhall and Gregory were on the last stop for the Giants. Cal Lepore marks off the penalty. Put it back at the 7-yard line.
The Giants are hoping against hope.
Holding
they got to come up with some
54.
turnovers.
Offense, 2nd down.
Bob Johnson, the center, holding on the play, makes it 2nd and 17 at the 7-yard line. Bob Johnson was the first man ever drafted by the Cincinnati Bengals when the franchise was first granted. He was an All-American at Tennessee.
I knew you'd get that in.
Absolutely.
Oh, it's coming down now.
Archie Griffin fumble the football, and the scramble is on. Cincinnati retains possession.
Well, you talk about everything going right.
It's about the 8-yard line. Archie Griffin got the ball after having fumbled it.
Well, that's twice now that Cincinnati has fumbled the football and recovered it. And give the Giants those 2 fumbled recoveries, they possibly could have put some points on the board.
Has a very good chance of being 3rd and 15 at the 9.
Yeah. Oh, with your good eyes, you can see what it is. Can't you, Lindsay?
Oh, yes. Richard Johnson up and got across the 15-yard line to about the 17, and the punting unit is coming on now for the Cincinnati Bengals. It was Mendenhall and Gregory again on the stop. It is Pat McAnally to do the punting. Bob Hammond is back to receive the punt for the Giants, who again have 10 men on the line. We'll look from just behind the kicker as we see Bob Johnson, who stays in there and does the snaps in deep punt formation as well as regular plays. Hammond calls for the fair catch.
What a kick.
At the 42-yard line, Hammond skids down, and it's going to be spotted at the 43-yard line, 1st and 10.
That's a 49-yard punt, Lindsay. And a great punt under pressure. Almost had a chance to be blocked from McAnally's right side.
Well, we have a mixed team golf championship coming up on CBS Saturday, December 3rd at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, and Sunday, December 4th Also at 4 p.m. Eastern Time.
Chi-Chi Rodriguez and Joanne Washam, defending champions. Arnold Palmer's in there with Sandra Palmer, and I guess they hope they don't play like Betsy Palmer.
First and 10 now. Bob Hammond is in that backfield, along with Spencer. Zaka's got the ball, and he gets across the 45. Casanova got to him first.
And that is a real tiger, folks. Isn't that beautiful? It doesn't bother him, Lindsay, at all. Are you kidding? That's
Benzu. Second down and 8 yards to go, and the ball is at the 45-yard line for the Giants. The sweepers stay busy trying to keep the lines clear here at Riverfront Stadium. Zaka and Spencer. Spencer's got it. Big Willie Spencer bumped his way up 4 or 5 yards. Gary Burley made the stop along with Lamar Parrish.
Hard running by Willie Spencer that time. That's Emery Moorhead lined up on the wing. They're trying to contain the linebacker on the left side, Bo Harris, double teaming him with the hand on his back. But anyway, Spencer, good hard running here, and he knocked Lamar Parrish flat on his back.
Third down and 3 yards to go as the ball moved up to the just short of the 50-yard line.
Picked up 5.
Hammond. He's pulled off to a lot. Eddie Edwards got to him. Eddie Edwards fired in to make the tackle, and the punting unit comes on now for the Giants.
Lost 4 yards. There's the great rookie. Here's Bob Hammond, and it's not his fault, folks. They tried the same play, a little power play off the right side. Nobody blocked Eddie Edwards. Let's take another angle. There's an end zone shot. There's the center blocking left, the guard pulling out in front of him. That's Doug Van Horn, and Eddie Edwards just got across the line of scrimmage a little bit too quick.
Jennings is in deep punt formation for the Giants. Tony Davis is center deep. Shelby on his right. Anderson on his left. Tony Davis.
Beautiful kick.
At the 13, to the 15, to the 20, across the 25, stopped at the 26-yard line. So they'll start first and 10 there. Larry Mallory made the tackle.
Some good 42-yard punt. We've seen a fine exhibition of punting on these conditions, Lindsay. Second quarter.
Now at Sears, there's a color TV on sale you really have to touch to believe. Now save $80 on Sears Sensor Touch TV. Just $399.95 for a 19-inch picture, an electronic tuner with no moving parts to wear out, a solid-state chassis, and sensor touch. You've just seen the touch of a finger change channels instantly. But even when you see it, you have to touch it to believe it. I believe. Sensor Touch, on sale now at Sears.
International Falls, Minnesota. A car sits on a frozen lake. Through January, February, and March. Then, in April, it started. Thanks to a Die-Hard. The Die-Hard, sold only at Sears.
Well, the Bengals have the football. As you look along their sideline, they have it first and 10 at their own 27. They've got Pete Johnson and Archie Griffin in the backfield. Ken Anderson still quarterbacking, and Cincinnati's leading 20-0. 6 minutes, 59 seconds left to play in the half. Griffin's in motion. Pete Johnson has the ball, and he powers up across the 30-yard line.
That's a tie ball game, second quarter, Pittsburgh and New York. Well, if they announce that here in Cincinnati, these people go crazy. Well, they're spraying a little artificial stuff just to try to get better traction out there, folks.
Antifreeze. It's second down and 7 at the 30-yard line.
Our day, all we had was Jack Daniels on the sideline. Cincinnati right now for these Ohio fans. Pete Johnson, of course, All-American. He was a 3-year running mate with Archie Griffin up there at Ohio State.
Giants deploy their defense as Anderson comes up now. Johnson in the right set.
There they are.
Archie Griffin is set up. Anderson. Has a diving grab by Jim Corbett.
The rookie out of Pittsburgh, and nothing is going wrong for Cincinnati. Just a great catch. Anderson waited for number 81, Jim Corbett, to clear the zone. Actually, everybody was covered here, Lindsey. The Giants secondary did a good job. Anderson was able to get to the outside and just wait for number 81 to turn back to the inside, and he made a good catch.
And it's 1st and 10 for the Bengals in Giant territory at the Giant 48-yard line. Bengals lead 20-0, and now they have it across the 50-yard line. John McDaniel far to the left side. Brooks is to the right side. Running backs in an I formation. Anderson. And Corbett again. Jim Corbett is on his way for a touchdown, Cincinnati.
48 yards for the touchdown, and what a display Ken Anderson is putting on in front of these hometown folks. He hasn't had the best year so far, Lindsey. He's only had 4 touchdown passes all year, which was the lowest figure in the AFC coming into this ball game. And that's Jim Corbett's first touchdown in his pro career. Shoulder pads halfway out. I think Anderson is perfect. He's completed 4 passes, 3 of them for touchdowns. There he is. Out of the I formation. Take another look at it. And Anderson, as you see, has got time to throw the football, and it's just a little turn pattern over the middle, and he beat Brad Van Pelt there. And I don't think he had full responsibility there, Lindsey. There wasn't a safety man back there at all.
It's going to be Barr now attempting. He had not missed one all year until the last attempt, and he missed that one. He is 2 of 3 today. Cobb puts it down. Barr puts it up, and this one is good. And so the score now is the Bengals 27 and the Giants nothing, with 4 minutes 53 seconds remaining to be played in the first half.
The closer you shave, boy.
The closer you shave, boys.
The more you will need.
The more you will need.
Great balls of comfort.
Great balls of comfort.
To do it with ease.
Great balls of comfort.
Oh, just like Noxzema.
Noxzema.
Premier.
Great balls of comfort to you.
The closer you shave, the more you need soothing, medicated Noxzema.
Great balls of comfort to you. Woo!
Hi, ever need to rent a car fast? Watch. Hertz, #1 club number 21586, arriving San Diego at 2 p.m. on RAL Flight 9. Returning it there tomorrow. Okay, thanks. That's all there is to it. When you're in the #1 club, nobody makes renting a car faster or easier than the Superstar. Even before you get there, your car is pre-assigned, your forms filled out. So rent a Ford fast from Hertz, the Superstar in rent-a-car.
Snow is falling here at Riverfront Stadium in Cincinnati, Ohio. The Bengals are leading the Giants 27-0 in the second quarter. Giants are deployed to receive the kickoff of Chris Barr, an old Penn Stater. Gordon Bell is waiting, and he's got it. At the 10, 15, 20, 25, Gordon Bell to the 30, to the 35, and stopped at the 36-yard line. So the Giants start 1st and 10. Glenn Cameron was downfield to make the tackle.
26-yard return by Gordon Bell. Ken Anderson's stats, 4 out of 4 for 156 yards. Well, there's the big one, Lindsey. Texas undefeated, ranked #1, going against Notre Dame, and I tell you, this is my guess. Whoever wins, of course, if Texas wins, they're undisputed national champions. And if Notre Dame wins, they think they're going to be #1.
That's Monday, January 2nd, the Cotton Bowl on CBS.
Probably got the Heisman Trophy right there, and Earl Campbell. Oh, what a game that should be.
Sarchik has the ball. And it's completed to Shirk, and Gary Shirk is up to the 50-yard line and across it. Over into Cincinnati territory, Marvin Cobb brought him down.
21-yard pickup. And Lindsay, if the folks are wondering why these two teams are trying to throw the football, the field is so slippery now. The offensive receivers have got a big edge. And it's very tough to rush the passer here right over the middle. Shirk's wide open. Notice how deep your secondary is, and that's why they're throwing the football.
1st and 10 at the 44-yard line of Cincinnati in Giant possession. Emery Moorhead's on a wide left. Emery Moorhead on a screen left.
Picked up about 18 the first down, Lindsay.
Got it inside that 30-yard line.
I hope we can pick this up. Number 13, you see him getting up, out of bounds over there. He slipped and fell down, and he's the man over to the right of your screen now. Now, after this pass is complete, right now, Ken Riley is on the ground. He has slipped and fallen down, and rather than wait for his blockers, Moorhead does the smart thing and goes for the yardage and gets the first down.
And he took it all the way to the 28-yard line where it is 1st and 10.
Doesn't bother her.
Not at all. She will.
That's not bad in this either, folks. They do the same play. He drops.
Tried it again. Tried to get it out there that time to Johnny Perkins.
All your receivers have got those golf gloves on.
2nd down and 10 at the 28-yard line. Joe Pisarcik.
It's like a homecoming for Coach John McVay, the New York Giants. He was born in Bel Air, Ohio, and played the Miami of Ohio, and of course he coached at the University of Dayton before going into the pros. So there's a nice little group.
Nice little family shot, a family gathering here in Cincinnati.
Imagine they could keep you warm, couldn't it?
You'd be surprised. It's 2nd and 10 now for the Giants. Hammond moved it through. Eddie Edwards and Wilson Whitley made the stop.
New England extending its lead. Second quarter, scored another touchdown, 14-zip. You know, Hammond's been really the bright spot of New York Giants offense. There's John McVay on the sidelines. Perkins comes out. They're alternating flankers for the plays. Hammond has got over 1,100 yards in offense. That ranks him 3rd in the NFC in total offense behind Peyton and Terry Metcalf.
Ball being snapped back out of Mallory. It's 3rd and 4 at the 22-yard line. 3rd and 4 at the 22. And on 3rd down, Pisarcik is throwing to Cutter. And it's incomplete. Cutter was necktied immediately out there by Tom Casanova.
Now that time, the inexperience of a quarterback, Gary Shirk. Of course, this is Pisarcik's first year in the league. He did not look over the field, Lindsey. If he did, he would have seen his tight end wide open and raising his hands. He went right to his back on the corner, little sideline pattern, and he was covered. He should have looked the field over. If he would have got back to his tight end, he was wide open.
4th down and 4 yards to go at the 22, and the Giants are going for it here.
And I like it, too. What else?
They got Hammond and Cutter in the backfield for Pisarcik. Pisarcik's going to run it. And he got the first down. Keeps the drive alive. 1st and 10. Reggie Williams made the stop. About the 13-yard line. A touchdown scored moments ago by Jim Corbett was his first as a pro. And the Giants now are taking a timeout. The Giants call a timeout, and Pisarcik goes over for a word with John McVay and his Giant coaching staff. Fiesta Bowl is coming up on Christmas Day on CBS, and it's going to be Penn State. They have a record of 10-1. They lost only to Kentucky. Against Arizona State, they are 9-2.
Well, Arizona State, of course, playing at home, one of the best rushing offenses in the country, going against Penn State. And let's see, Chris Barr's brother kicks for Penn State. We've got Chris right here, and his brother's a fine kicker for Penn State. Joe Paterno, one of the class guys of all time.
That's Sunday, December 25th on CBS.
There he is.
Dave Jennings, who is one of the finer punters in professional football for the Giants.
Ranks 3rd in the NFC, and he's done an outstanding job today.
So Pisarcik is ready to come back.
Going to bring an extra towel with him, too, Lance. He'll probably hook it onto his center.
That's what you need today, a towel service. It's 1st and 10. Well, it looks like they got the sweepers out there. We old curlers believe in that sweeping.
Oh, we old curlers. I guess you've worked a curling exhibition. Now, tell me you worked a curling exhibition, too. You worked everything else.
I've seen a few. I picked up a few of the phrases. 1st and 10, the ball's inside the 14-yard line. Giants trying to get on that scoreboard as we approach the 2-minute warning. Hammond again. Struggled inside the 10-yard line to the 9. Jim LeClaire and Reggie Williams made the stop.
Here's Hammond. Does a fine job getting an extra 2 or 3 yards. Everything's jammed up. Sees a little bit of a hole. Jim LeClaire's right there with help from Bo Harris.
It's going to be down at the 9-yard line, and we are down now to the 2-minute warning, for which the whistle has just sounded. So we have 2 minutes remaining to be played in the first half as Pisarcik again heads over to the sideline for a little conference here.
And this game's not over with, folks. This kind of weather, anything can happen. Giants get 7 on the board here before halftime. A couple of mistakes, and we've got ourselves a ball game.
Keep in mind that next Saturday on CBS at 5 p.m., the CBS Sports Spectacular, the International Record Makers Tournament of Weightlifting.
It's Olympic super heavyweight champion Vasily Alexev. Well, we all remember him. What a great, great athlete he is. And he'll be challenged by the United States' Bruce Wilhelm and a lot of others.
And then the world's strongest men competition.
They're going to lift, what, 400-pound refrigerators strapped to their backs and race 40-yard course against time. Now, that's ridiculous.
And it'll be on CBS next Saturday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time.
400. What was that? I don't believe that.
400-pound refrigerators.
And race 40 yards in 10 feet of water.
I don't know how you train for that, really. So now, as you look down the Giants sideline, the Giants have the ball. 2nd down, about 6 yards to go, and they have it at the 9-yard line. Houston's leading Kansas City 7-0 in the first quarter. Right here, the Bengals are leading 27-0.
Come on, New York. Put something on the board.
Spencer. They had Zonka and Spencer in there. The truck and trailer offense down outside the 6. Eddie Edwards in there on the stop.
Clock ticking away. They still have 2 timeouts left.
Third down and about 3 yards to go at the 6-yard line. You see the clock end set, 1.5 minutes remaining to be played in the first half. It's still Spencer and Zonka in the backfield. Pisarcik saying something as he goes up there at the quarterback spot. Spencer piled it into the 5-yard line and was stacked up there where it'll be 4th down coming up.
Gang tackle. Clock ticking away. It's going to be under a minute. They're going to take a timeout. Oh, they're going to let it run.
Referee says wind it up. Cal Lepore, the referee. It's going to be 4th down.
They need about a yard and a half, Linz. Let's call it 2 yards.
And timeout Giants. The Giants now have taken a timeout with exactly 1 minute remaining to be played in the first half.
Gary Burley leading the cheers. He's waving to the fans. Let's hear it. Look at him. They want to hear the fans.
Well, the fans want to yell. They want to do most anything today, just sort of get into the act here for the sake of moving around.
Slow motion. Let's take another look. Spencer going to come up 2 yards short, and he's really hit with the pile right there. He's sandwiched. That's Gary Burley, Reggie Williams, and a host of others.
Giants have 1 timeout left, and the Bengals have 3. And when players resume, it'll be 4th down, 1.5 yards to go. Well, in the Sun Bowl on CBS, that's coming up on Saturday, December 31st. It's Stanford and LSU.
Hey, Guy Benjamin, one of the great passers in college football this year, goes against one of the best runners, Charles Alexander. Led the nation until, 2 or 3 weeks ago. He was All-American.
Sarchik wants to go over for another conference.
They're going to go for it.
Tom Casanova there, fellow we saw in the Sun Bowl a few years ago on CBS. The crowd comes alive. 4th down, 1.5 yards to go, and the ball is on the 5-yard line. That's about as live as the crowd can get here on an afternoon when it's snowing at Riverfront in Cincinnati. Zaka and Spencer, Pisarcik says he can't hear. So that makes 2. He can't hear and he can't see.
And he's going to hear some more the next time he gets under that center, but he's very wise in doing this, Lindsay.
They're going to reconvene the huddle here. Pittsburgh's leading the Jets 20-13 in the second quarter. Cincinnati's interested in anything that Pittsburgh does. They're in the Central Division of the AFC.
Well, they feel that Cleveland will lose one of the next 3 games. And if they can win, look at Gary Burley. He's leading the cheers on the right side there, number 67. Look at him. They're popped up.
He's down the line. Burley. Burley says, let's get it going.
Yeah. He's having fun. I tell you, you have fun when you're ahead in a game like this, Lindsay. But boy, when you're on the other side of the fence. Sure, he can let it go on this down. 4th and 2.
Zaka and Spencer are the setbacks. Truck and trailer offense.
Wide open.
Touchdown. Pumped right in there to Robinson. Robinson underneath the goalpost for the Giant touchdown.
Play action off the left side. Now Robinson is lined up on the wing. He wants to go outside to Spencer. And now Pisarcik looks over the field and finds Robinson on a hook pattern wide open. Pisarcik does a nice job here. Here's the pass rush. A little stunt. Your Burley went to the inside, Edwards to the outside. It was almost clipped, but you can do that 2 or 3 yards within the line of scrimmage.
Joe Danello is attempting. Larry Mallory is holding. Danello is 13 for 13, and the points after this year, and it's blocked.
Jim LeClaire.
LeClaire got to it. He blocked the conversion attempt, and so the Giants get only the 6. And the score is the Bengals 27, the Giants 6, and we have 54 seconds remaining to be played in the half.
Looked like Jim LeClaire just came through untouched. Right there, he came right out of the middle in between the tackle and the guard and blocks Danello's extra point.
And so, here at Riverfront Stadium in Cincinnati, it's been this kind of a day. It snowed last night. It stopped snowing just before game time and then started again, and it snowed throughout much of the first half. The grounds crew has been constantly sweeping to keep the line markers as clear as possible.
The weatherman will be embarrassed here in Cincinnati. He said, we won't have over 3 inches of snow. We've had that since game time. Pisarcik in the first half has looked pretty good to me, Lindsay. He's 80 out of 14 for 74 yards. The Giant defense has really just been stung by Kenny Anderson's 3 touchdown passes.
Paul, you're from sunny Kentucky. Does it snow on the other side of the river?
Other side of the river, it's beautiful. You think they snow on those expensive thoroughbreds over there? Are you kidding?
Danello will kick off now for the Giants. They've got Shelby center deep for the Bengals. Shelby lets it go into the end zone. He can down it there, touchback. It'll be put in play first and 10 at the 20-yard line. Clock didn't move. In the last 2 minutes, the clock doesn't start until the ball is touched by a member of the receiving team in the field of play.
Oh, my man knows these rules, doesn't he?
So be sure and stay with us now during the halftime intermission. Brent and Irv will have scores and highlights of all the other games around the National Football League. And there are a lot of them. And they get more and more important as we approach playoff and championship time in professional football. Gary Burley. He's been in motion since this game began. So have they. Anderson still quarterbacking. Griffin and Pete Johnson are the setbacks. Well, he spun his wheels a little, but Johnson got up there for a yard.
All you got to do here, Lindsey, is make sure you hold on to the football. They're going to be very content to go into halftime with the 21-point lead.
Timeout, Giants. That's their final timeout.
You saw him slip right there, Lindsey, and the footing is very, very slippery. There's artificial turf underneath about 2.5 inches of snow now. George Martin, Brad Van Pelt trying to strip the football. Nothing to lose. You got to go for it right here.
I remember when they opened this stadium in the summer of 1970 for the Cincinnati Reds and the new artificial turf, and one of the problems early was that it was so hot on that artificial turf that you could hardly stand it. We have not had that problem this afternoon. When play is resumed, it'll be second down. 9 yards to go with the ball at the 21. The Bengals are leading by a score of 27-6. They came in with a record of 5 wins and 5 losses. John McVay brought his Giants in with a record of 4 wins and 6 losses. We have 47 seconds left on the clock as the Cincinnati Bengals have the ball. Anderson just keeps it, knowing that the clock can't be stopped by the Giants. Want to let that clock run. So he took a slight loss on the play. 3rd and 10. And the Bengals are in no hurry. Clock is running down to 14, 13-12, 11-10. You can see it inset as it ticks off. 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second, and that's it. Simply let it go, and there is the gun sounding the end of the first half. So they head for the warmth of the locker rooms here in Cincinnati, the Bengals and the Giants. And at the end of the first half, Cincinnati is leading by a score of 27-6. And Ken Anderson, has been red hot here in the first half of this football game.
4 out of 4 for, 146, 56? Officially 155 yards. 4 out of 4 for 155 yards, 3 touchdown passes. And that's been the difference.
In case you've joined us along the way, the Cincinnati Bengals got out in front early in this ball game, being played on a snowy afternoon in Cincinnati, and piled up the lead, and the Giants got their touchdown in the waning moments of the first half. So not only did the ball players head for a little shelter and a little warmth, but some of the cheerleaders head in also for a little shelter. We had about 2 inches of snow in Cincinnati last night, and the weatherman predicted about 2 for this afternoon. But our resident weatherman, Paul Horning, our meteorologist in residence, says that we've had more than that already. And that would seem to indicate that at the end of the first half, the Cincinnati Bengals are leading the New York Giants by a score of 27-6 in Cincinnati.
Мне нравится ваша рубашка.
He admires your shirt.
It's a cotton-rich fabric called Natural Blend.
Да.
It's the Cotton Arrow by Arrow, 60% cotton, so it breathes.
Dushat.
It's got the extra comfort of extra cotton, plus durable press, no iron.
No iron. Natasha will do anything but iron my shirt.
If you're looking for comfort, look for the seal of cotton. The more cotton, the better you feel.
Well, you caught me doing a not-so-great job wrapping a great Christmas gift. A Kodak Tele Instamatic 608 camera. It's almost like giving 2 cameras because it has 2 lenses.
Okay, Star, do your stuff. Look how the telephoto lens can make the best part of your picture bigger. A Kodak Tele 608 camera doesn't cost a great deal of money.
But it gives a great deal of pleasure. And like all Kodak gifts, the Tele 608 camera says, "Open me first" to save Christmas in pictures.
Here's to good friends. Tonight is kind of special.
Hey, where you been? Well, it wasn't easy getting tickets for this game.
Hey, Bob.
Eddie, I know exactly what I want. I want the biggest steak you've got and a bottle of Lowenbrow.
Mistaken, Lowenbrow. Dolan, you're a genius.
When you want the taste of a truly great beer, tonight, let it be Lowenbrow.
Here's to the chef. Here's to the bartender.
Archie's in for surprises, and you're in for some laughs when a secret vigilante group recruits him.
Would you join us in a little reprimand? Hey, I'm with you all the way. I'll be a member of the club for life here.
Something special on All in the Family, earlier this Sunday at 8, 7 Central and Mountain. Next Saturday at 5 p.m. Eastern, CBS Sports Spectacular presents the International Record Makers Tournament of Weightlifting with the world and Olympic super heavyweight champion Vasily Alexiev of the Soviet Union heading an international field of world record weightlifters. Plus the world's strongest men competition featuring the refrigerator race. That's next Saturday at 5 p.m. Eastern.
Many of you are watching the game between the Giants and Cincinnati where it is snowing, also snowing hard this afternoon in Green Bay. The Packers now lead Minnesota 6-0. Let's get you up to date on everything around the league. Not today for Tampa Bay, being shut out by Atlanta 10-0. We'll have highlights of that game coming up. Los Angeles leading Cleveland 9-0. They add a field goal as time runs out in the first half. Earlier they had scored and missed the extra point. Cincinnati leading the Giants 27-6. Also a missed extra point by the Giants in that game. New England ahead of Philadelphia 14-0 at the half. And Pittsburgh and the New York Jets are waging an entertaining game in Shea Stadium today. 2 touchdown passes by Terry Bradshaw, 16 on the season for him. And Franco Harris now joins Jimmy Brown and O.J. Simpson as the only runners in history who in 6 years go over the 6,000-yard mark. And here is the Minnesota-Green Bay score. First quarter, snowing heavily, Packers lead the Vikes 6-0. Kansas City and Houston ahead in that game 7-0. Kenny Burrow caught a touchdown pass. And Irv Cross, you've got a very special tribute to your old team today, the Philadelphia Eagles.
Well, of course, the Eagles are trailing right now at New England, Brent. But, you know, the Eagles are probably the best 3-7 football team in pro football right now that I've seen in quite a while. They've actually scored more points than they've allowed, which are bittersweet statistics to Coach Dick Vermeil. But Vermeil has a bright hope for the future, and it's his young quarterback, Ron Jaworski, who has made his coach a firm promise, as told in the song All My Tomorrows, as sung by Frank Sinatra.
You are now looking at a live picture in Green Bay, and you can see how heavily it is snowing. The Packers still leading Minnesota. Hard to tell where the down markers are. And the NFL Today will continue on CBS right after these messages from your local stations.
See Robert Redford and Faye Dunaway in the television premiere of 3 Days of the Condor, tonight at 9, 8 Central and Mountain on CBS.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers 0-24, and as Jimmy the Greek told you, their 12th quarterback change today as McKay went to Gary Huff. But Huff wasn't doing much better. Picked off by Roland Lawrence of the Falcons, and what a nose for the ball he's had. Here's Haskell Standback for the touchdown. 10-0 right now. And Irv, what do you got?
Brent, you know, in Cleveland's Municipal Stadium, the Rams lead the Browns by a score of 9-0, which is sort of surprising because both teams have high-powered offenses. Pat Hayden for the Rams, who has a hot arm, can't find anybody open here as he goes off on a scramble here for 23 yards. His first quarter action down to the Cleveland 47-yard line, which sets up this scoring opportunity by John Cappelletti from the 7-yard line. John goes in. The score is 6-0. Extra point missed, and that's where things stand. Later, late in the second quarter, Raphael Septien comes in, kicks a 19-yard field goal. The Rams lead at halftime, 9-0.
They have started the third quarter in Tampa Bay. Buccaneers on the move. Let's check in on highlights now of the New York Giants and the Cincinnati Bengals. The first time Cincinnati had possession, here's what happened. Anderson to Brooks, 48-yard touchdown pass. After the extra point, it was 7-0. Archie Griffin had been held to no more than 25 yards on a single run until that draw play for 31. Watch Boobie Clark rip into an umpire. In for the touchdown. It was 14-0 and snowing hard. Anderson for the second time to Brooks, and it was 20-0. Anderson this time wants Jim Corbett, rookie tight end from Pittsburgh, his first pro score, 27-0. Pisarcik at quarterback for the Giants today. The fans braving some horrendous weather in Cincinnati. And he goes to Robinson, and that puts the Giants on the board, but the extra point was blocked, Irv, so that is 27-6.
You want to know what's happening to the Philadelphia Eagles? The New England Patriots, of course, Patriots lead that game at halftime by a score 14-0, and Steve Grogan has done it through the airwaves. Grogan, who does have a strong arm, goes to Stanley Morgan, the speedster out here, who simply beats the Eagles' defense deep, goes all the way in for a touchdown, drawing first blood. New England leads 7-0 in the first quarter. Grogan this time goes to his running back, Sam the Bam Cunningham, on a screen play down here to the lower end of your screen. Cunningham takes the ball along the sideline down to the 16-yard line, where Grogan has a chance to go to work again. Going to the air to Darryl Stingley. He latches on. Touchdown. New England leads 14-0. The Eagles had a chance for a field goal, but passed it up here because their newly acquired kicker, Ove Johansson, missed two earlier field goals on a fourth down play. Jaworski sacked, and that's where it ends at halftime, 14-0.
Irv, I was just checking, and down at Tampa Bay, they're on the move. Minnesota has the ball back, but let's show you what has transpired in Green Bay with the Packers ahead. This is the play that gave them the opportunity. McClanahan coughed it up, and Green Bay recovered. Harrell scooted for a first down. Boy, I bet the officials are having some job trying to measure on a field like that, aren't they? Whitehurst, the young quarterback, on the keeper, got in, and that makes it 6-0 right now. And, of course, Minnesota really must win that game because they got a tough schedule. They still play Oakland, and they're trying to stay ahead of Chicago. But, you know, on January 2nd, the Cotton Bowl is a classic. Texas against Notre Dame. And, Jimmy the Great, give me your early line on the Cotton Bowl. Who do you like in that contest?
After watching Texas yesterday and humiliate Texas A&M, originally I thought it was a toss-up, but now you've got to go to Texas, a slight favorite. Not too much.
You call that a razor's edge, right?
I would call it like a field goal, maybe.
Okay. All right. The NFL Today will continue on CBS in just a moment.
This realistic 40-channel CB radio is on sale right now at your nearby Radio Shack for the unbelievable low price of $49.95. That's 50% off our catalog price. And our realistic Model 466 is ready to use on all 40 CB channels. For under $50, get the convenience and security of two-way CB communication today. The sale-priced realistic 40-channel CB radio, only at Radio Shack, a Tandy company.
America's best-selling new car in history, the new Ford Fairmont. What's behind Fairmont's success? Fairmont's mileage, highest EPA mileage rating of any mid-size car. Fairmont's roominess, more room for the money than any other car. Fairmont's price, lowest sticker price of any mid-size car. Test drive America's best-selling new car ever at your Ford dealer, where the better ideas keep coming.
This is my team, and this is the new Giants Stadium in the Meadowlands. Hello, I'm Brad Van Pelt. New York's so big that it's hard to even begin to tell you about it. I could start here with a skyline like no other in the world. But let me show you a special part of the New York scene. It's the feeling you get when you're jogging in Central Park, walking up Fifth Avenue, riding the subway, or looking back on the city from the George Washington Bridge. The feeling that here, in what may be the greatest experiment of people living together, there is the greatest need for human friendship. That's why the United Way volunteers are so important. They work for the visiting nurses, Girl Scouts, Salvation Army, and many other agencies funded by the United Way. New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut wouldn't be the same without them. On behalf of the volunteers and the Tri-State United Way, we'd like to say, thanks to you, it works. For all of us, the United Way.
Is my mic all right?
Preceding announcement was brought to you as a public service by the National Football League. It's halftime here at Riverfront Stadium in Cincinnati, Ohio. The Bengals are leading by a score of 27-6. Paul Horning, I suppose you look for bright spots wherever you can find them. And the Giants made one of their few sustained drives of the year for their touchdown.
I think that was the second sustained drive all year long for New York, putting the ball in the end zone. But actually the difference of this ball game has been Kenny Anderson. And it's almost amazing on this type of conditions in a ball game for a team to have 252 yards in offense on the field like this. We've got about 3 inches of snow now on the field. Anderson's been perfect, 4 out of 4, 155 yards and 3 touchdowns. And the long bomb has been the difference.
Billy Brooks didn't seem to have much trouble getting out there.
Not too bad. He's caught 2 for 88 yards. And Billy Brooks, of course, is really the only deep threat Cincinnati has. Isaac Curtis is gone for the season. And Billy Brooks, of course, never caught that many passes at Oklahoma, but Paul Brown must have saw something. He drafted him number 1, and he's been a great one.
You know, for the Giants, it's been a struggle all season long, and I suppose it's going to be just a continuing struggle.
It is, and they need some turnovers, Lindsay. They need to hope that Cincinnati coughs up the football. They had a couple opportunities to recover fumbles. They did not. There's your first half stats. And the big stat, of course, is Kenny Anderson, 4 out of 4 down there. Persarchik's had a good first half under these conditions. I'd say excellent. He's shown a strong arm. Everybody knows he's got a strong arm. And I think he's a little bit more disciplined. We talked about that at the top of the show. You need discipline, especially on a field like this. You've got to take what you can get. Now, the defensive secondary for Cincinnati is going to play way back, Lindsay. They're going to give you that short passes, and I think Persarchik is going to have to go to his tight end. I've noticed he's been open on 3 or 4 occasions. He's got to look around.
So the groundskeepers have been busy, and they're still busy trying to get the lines cleared up a little bit here as we get ready for the second half of play at Riverfront Stadium in Cincinnati.
Griffin is the leading ball carrier in this football game. He got off a couple of long runs early in the first quarter. He's finished up the first half with 72 yards and 10 carries. For rushing, as far as the New York Giants are concerned, they do not have too many yards. They only got 34 yards rushing, and they could help that out in the second half and help the passing if they could get 70 or 80 yards rushing.
Joe Danilo has teed the ball up on the 35-yard line. Shelby is center deep to receive it. He's got Davis on one side, Anderson on the other for the Cincinnati Bengals. Danilo's foot is picked up. It is a short return with a few spinning wheels as it gets up there to about the 35-yard line. It was Greg Fairchild, a guard and tackle, who picked it up and spun his wheels and finally lunged forward. So it's 1st and 10.
Well, Fairchild, of course, a lineman, and he's got the Star Wars mask on there. Some linemen don't realize once you're down, you can get up and run with the football. Nobody touches you.
1st and 10, and the ball is just across the 35-yard line. Anderson, of course, 4 for 4, 155 yards in the air. Pete Johnson carried. former Ohio Stater. John Mendenhall made the tackle, and it is up there at the
what?
Well, about 39, I'm going to say. Picked up about 3 on the play, making 2nd and 7 at the 39.
Well, I tell you, the markers on the field are just completely covered.
Minnesota leading Green Bay 7-6.
You don't think the Bears are pulling for the Packers in this situation, do you?
Are they ever? Again, it was Pete Johnson, and he moved it up across the 40-yard line. Picked up about a yard on the play, so it's going to be 3rd down and 6 yards to go. Mendenhall and George Martin made the stop that time.
Here's Jack Gregory. There's Troy Archer on the inside. They're just trying to stand him up here, and that's exactly what they do.
Got Bujnak in there, an offensive line now. 3rd down play coming. Anderson to Brooks, and he can't hold on to it. Brittle fingers, and so it's going to be a 4th and 6. Billy Brooks, the intended receiver.
A little slipping and a sliding on the outside.
Punting unit comes on now for the Cincinnati Bengals. Pat McInally from Harvard is coming in to do the punting.
His coach at Harvard, Joe Restig's got a son at Notre Dame. I always loved his line. I asked the coach of Harvard's son why he went to Notre Dame. He said, I did not want to go to a football factory.
You're right. Stanky is dropped back there now along with Hammond. Hammond and Stanky to receive McInally's pass. Oh, to Stanky's side of the field, and he's got it at the 25. Running at the 24. Side slips the tackler and turns upfield and skids his way before Corbett brought him down. Gets up at the 38-yard line, and they'll start 1st and 10.
Good return, a 33-yard punt. And if Corbett hadn't have made that tackle, Lindsey, he had some daylight in front of him.
But just at the 37-yard line, make it 1st and 10. Hammond and Coder. Pisarcik is still the quarterback, trying to keep that right hand warm. Coder carried. Up to the 44. Tom Casanova made the stop.
Picked up 7. Straight up the middle. See the center blocking to his left. The guard pulls. He picks up the linebacker who was blitzing to his left. And Coder stumbles a little bit, falls forward for 7 yards.
Johnny Perkins came out of the ball game, and as he went to the sideline, he got within about 2 yards and stumbled. 2nd down and 3. It's tough to go under any condition here today. Well, he missed the handoff, and Pisarcik still got it and doesn't want it. And he is tripped up.
Corey Bacon.
Corey Bacon did it.
Missed the handoff. And you know, when a quarterback spins out on a handoff, he has no problem handing off to the back, but under these conditions, you start spinning and you slow up a lot and your back's gone.
Moves it back to the 42-yard line and makes it 3rd down and 5 yards to go. 3rd and 5 for the Giants. So the Cincinnati crowd is exhorting the defense of the Bengals. Pisarcik. Robinson was his intended receiver. He stumbled.
And Tommy Casanova stumbled also, and he would have been wide open. If Jimmy Robinson had not have stumbled, I think he would have got to that football, Lindsey.
It's 4th down, and punting unit is in. Dave Jennings is in to do the kicking. Bengals have dropped Tony Davis back. Shelby is on one side of him and Jerry Anderson on the other. $14-0. Houston over Kansas City in the 2nd quarter. Bengals play Kansas City next week.
Let's go, it's Kansas City. That's right. Next week, and Houston, the last game of the season.
Davis at the 22 gets up. No contact. 25. Just across the 25-yard line. He's pulled out. 36-yard punt by Jennings. So the Bengals get the ball in their own territory. They'll start first and 10 at their own 25. 11:43 remaining in the third quarter.
Wherever you may roam, you'll find our name is known. You can trust a Delco.
Thanks, Delco.
Delco Freedom Battery. When things are getting thick and you want to start real quick, you can trust a Delco.
Thanks, Delco.
Delco Freedom Battery. They've got the stuff when the starting's tough. You can trust a Delco.
Thanks, Delco.
Delco Freedom Battery. Delco Freedom.
Thanks, Delco.
This is combat in the field and in your home. New Telstar Combat, the video tank game with two-fisted controls found in real tanks so you can maneuver all over the battlefield, dodge mines, one mistake and regroup, aim, fire. The score mounts, the battle quickens, turn, fire. Telstar Combat gives you 4 different battle games. So hit your TV to a Telstar. Telstar Combat by Coleco.
Ken Anderson brings up the Bengals first and 10 at their own 25. Pete Johnson, the up back. Archie Griffin's the tailback in the I formation for the Bengals. That is Archie Griffin. Hit by Clyde Powers. Loss on the play. About a yard. Second down and 11 at the 24.
You know, very important, Lindsay, in a game like this, the footing, you've got to have good balance. It's not so important on a field like this to try to run full speed. You've got to run under control and be very, very cognizant of your blocking. You've got to hit the right hole and cut.
Anderson pops it incomplete. Trying to get it out there to Griffin, to Archie Griffin. Third and 11 at the 24-yard line. Cincinnati 27, the Giants 6 in the third quarter.
Well, personally, we used to love to play on a field like this, and when I say love to play, everybody says, how can you really love to play on a field like this? We won a lot of ball games on off fields. I think you'd have to consider the Packers during those days as mudders, off track. There's certain teams that play a lot better in off tracks.
Well, you had a lot of practice at it, and nobody else liked to play on fields like that.
That's Bill Tiger Johnson on the sidelines.
Punting unit is coming on for the Cincinnati Bengals. As Johnson. McCormick beside him, Mike McCormick, former NFL head coach.
You know, it's tougher on the center in a punting situation than on almost anyone. He's always worried about a bad snap. Under these conditions, it's more delicate. There's Bob Johnson. Now, he will snap the ball, and he's got it centered 15 yards. The punter's back 15 yards.
McAnally's the punter. Good snap.
Beautiful kick. Wow.
Hammond is retreating. He's got it at his 25. At the 30. 35. And out of bounds.
Good
at the 40-yard line.
Another 49-yard punt by McAnally.
Cameron ran him out. So now the Giants will start first and 10. They'll have the ball at their own 40-yard line. 9 minutes, 53 seconds remaining to be played in the third quarter.
Inside this new Firestone radial tire is an improved steel cord with 5 million miles of developmental testing. Where once we used 5 strands, we now use 10 strands of steel. 7 around 2, wrapped by 1. A cord construction so important, Firestone named the tire for it. 7, 2, 1. The new steel-belted radial 721. Now, from Firestone.
Are you still chained to? Gotcha! The rechargeable Norelco rotary razor lets you walk away, free from nicks and cuts.
Its 36 surgical steel rotary razor blades are safely protected inside 3 floating heads to give you a comfortable shave that's razor close, razor smooth, for up to 3 weeks on a single charge. The rechargeable Norelco rotary razor. It lets you walk away from gotcha.
An all-star cast in swashbuckling adventure in The Four Musketeers. A television premiere on the CBS Friday night movies at 9, 8 Central and Mountain Time.
Giants have the ball first and 10 at their own 40 following McAnally's punt. He's punted 4 times and averaged 41 and a half in the snow. Pisarcik still quarterbacking the Giants. Skids a little on the retreat. Sidearmed it incomplete. That's Perkins. That'll be second and 10 at the 40-yard line.
Good pitch. Perkins would have moved to the inside on that little hook pattern. He would have had a shot at it. That's a very tough football to catch. On a good day, he's got a real strong arm. He throws it hard.
Minnesota's leading Green Bay now by a score of 10-6 in the second quarter.
Well, I feel for Buzz Starr. A long year.
As you pointed out a moment ago, the Chicago papers were saying yesterday this is one of the few times when the Bears and the Bear fans are pulling for Green Bay.
That's right. Green Bay could pull an upset. The Bears would be tied for the division lead.
Moorhead. Well, he's still mobile. Gary Burley had him for a moment, but just for a moment. And then Bo Harris.
That's good. Excuse me, Lindsay. That's good reaction for a defensive end. Gary Burley, second-year veteran from the University of Pittsburgh. He's covered that screen. Now watch him. He's going right there with the tackle. He sees the tackle release, and his first natural instinct is go to the flow. And just a little slip by Moorhead enabled Burley to get out there and trip him up.
3rd and 8 at the 42-yard line. Third down play coming, and the crowd is alive. Perkins in a wide right, they're in a slot right. Robinson can't hang on to it. Incomplete. Covering defensively was Marvin Cobb, the free safety. That is Robinson.
You know, Jimmy Robinson is not known for exceptional speed, but the games I've seen this young man in, he has the ability to get deep, to get behind the cornerback. Now, Pisarcik, of course, has got the strong arm. If he would have let him just a little bit more, they would have had 6. Robinson has his man beaten down the left sidelines here. 24 is Marvin Cobb, and the ball 1 foot more and it would have been a completed.
Dave Jennings is back to do the punting. Tony Davis is center deep to receive it for the Cincinnati Bengals. 9.5 minutes left in the third quarter. Jennings gets it off. Davis slips in trying to move, decides we won't try to field it. It's inside the 20-yard line. Goes to the 15 where it's down. So the Bengals will start first and 10 at their own 15-yard line.
Oh, these punters are doing a fine job under these conditions. That's a 43-yard punt for Jennings.
Getting a lot of distance on him. The Bengals are leading by a score of 27-6.
Hey, Mom!
Oh, hiya, Sonny.
Stop sitting around, Mom. Let's take a ride in my new Ford pickup.
All right, let me drive. Hope I can handle it.
This is the one that's built tough with Ford's exclusive twin I-beam suspension and a new 4-speed overdrive option.
Fire out.
And extensive rust-fighting materials on underbody parts.
What you think, Mom?
You may think I'm off my rocker. This Ford is tough.
Of all Ford trucks registered over the last 12 years, 93 out of 100 are still on the job.
I dare you to knock this off. I dare you to compare anybody's batteries, with alkaline power cells. We're trying to beat them for long life. You know what? You can't. When you want long-lasting energy, you can't buy a longer-lasting, all-purpose power system than gold, red, and black alkaline power cells from Everready. Come on. I dare you.
Blue skies. It's not too blue. I'll tell you one thing, Lindsay, that guy wouldn't play for Bud Grant, would he?
Cincinnati Bengals moving the ball from their own 15-yard line on the ground, and it was Pete Johnson carrying. And he got it out there for about 5. Torrey Archer made the stop.
Jack Gregory.
That is Gregory getting up slowly.
Very slowly. They're going to have to
come and have some attention for Gregory.
Says my whole leg's numb. This is Brian Kelly head on. And everybody, Jack Gregory comes back and gets crunched.
Gary Jeter has come onto the field now. That's Jeter, number 70, former All-American at Southern Cal. It'll be 2nd down and 5 for the Bengals. They have the ball at their own 20-yard line, just across the 20. Archie Griffin, and he gets it up close to the 25. Make it Pete Johnson, beg your pardon. First and 10. Ben Bush now coming in offensively. Atlanta is leading Tampa Bay 17-0 in the third quarter. Apparently this is not going to be the day for Tampa Bay.
One thing about it, every team that goes to play Tampa Bay is scared to death.
Says they're the most feared team in the National Football League. First and 10. Everybody's afraid.
They're going to come out of that sleep.
Now this is Archie Griffin. He only got a yard.
Good play by
Brad Van Pelt.
Oh, we can pick up Van Pelt here. He plays off the block good. There's Johnson slipping. Sweep left with Archie Griffin. And now on the top of your screen, watch Brad Van Pelt. Played off the block. Good tackle. Well, that's why he's been in the Pro Bowl.
2nd down and 9 yards to go at the 26. What happens, Paul, if you run a deep pattern and collide with a sweeper? Sweepers rush out between plays and sometimes don't quite get back. It's Corbett in motion across. Corbett on the screen right. Well, no, it's Brooks. It's Brooks. Corbett went in motion, but the pass receiver was Brooks. Martin was over there. So was Bryant.
Everybody slipped with George Martin, and he made the stop. Here's the screen. And they're just hoping somebody's going to fall down on the outside here. Here's Brooks. Now he slips. Brian Kelly slips. Brooks gets back out at good pursuit by George Martin.
Loss of a yard on the play makes it 3rd and 10 at the 25-yard line. Brooks and Corbett a double left.
I don't think we've had a turnover today. Do you believe that?
Ken Anderson throwing to Brooks, but didn't quite get there. Thought of end over end on a big bounce. That'll bring the punter out for the Cincinnati Bengals. Pat McAnally coming on to kick the football.
That's absolutely right, Lindsay. It's amazing. We have had no turnovers in this football game. We've had a couple of fumble recoveries by their own team, Cincinnati. It's very lucky on a couple of occasions.
For the Giants deep, we have 3 receivers and 4 sweepers.
And they're still on the field.
McAnally waiting for Johnson's snap.
Last 2 punts, he's hit for 49 yards.
This one just seems to be held up a little. Taken by Perkins, and he's skidding around.
That's 34-yard punt this time for McAnally.
Anderson and Phillips downfield to make the tackle.
Now let's see what we can get going here. Well, that's something everybody's going to enjoy. Bing Crosby's Merry Old Christmas, Wednesday at 9 p.m., 8 Central and Mountain. Don't miss that. That's with his whole family. Go ahead, Linz.
It was recorded before his untimely death, and you'll see it on CBS Wednesday at 9, 8. Door refrigerator, clear
I could think of something else to put on my back besides the refrigerator.
That's all on the CBS Sports Spectacular next Saturday, 5 p.m. Eastern Time. For Sarchik over to talk to McVeigh now. He might want to ask McVay some questions that would be difficult to answer right here.
Well, I tell you, they've been having problems going inside tackle on short yardage, even though they got the two big backs, Zonka and Spencer, in there. I would say to go outside, Lindsey, and just hope you get a one-on-one situation, and the momentum of one of those big backs are going to go by one of those small safety men and pick up the touchdown. They've got 2 downs, and I'm sure they're going to go for it. They're not going to try any field goal.
Zonka and Spencer are split.
Look at them dig in.
Zonka.
Not going to make it that way.
Oh, no. Big Zonk rebounded. Harris was there, and so was Cameron. 4th down coming up.
Here it is. High above the end zone. Zonka just sticks his head down. Nobody touched 2 or 3 Cincinnati Bengals. It's Bo Harris, 50.
4th and goal at the 2-yard line. McVay along the sideline.
They got the speed in there now. I bet they're going to try to go outside. Hammond's in.
Hammond's the tailback. Zonka's the upback.
Watch Jimmy Robertson again.
Pisarcik throwing incomplete, and the ball goes over. Attempted to pass it in to Hammond. I beg your pardon. It was to Boyd Brown. Boyd Brown was the intended receiver.
There was a flag down on the play against the Giants, and I'm sure they're going to refuse it.
And the ball will go over. It is declined. There's Boyd Brown, 4-year veteran from Alcorn A&M.
Here it is again, Lindsey. They fake it. Hammond's on the inside. He's looking for Robinson. Has to go to the outside. Incomplete.
Stuntman, you get the bruises instead of the glory. You hit the deck and bite the dust till your bones ache. But now comes Miller time. Time to reach for the best tasting beer you can find. Miller High Life, America's quality beer.
If you've got the time, we've got the beer. Miller Beer.
Announcing a unique new motor oil from Exxon Research that can actually save money. New Golden Natural Uniflow. Uniflow was tested in cars like yours. After break-in, it delivered an overall average of 16 extra miles per tank full. Savings like that could cut your gasoline bill the equivalent of about 3 cents a gallon. New Uniflow motor oil is Exxon's best engine protection ever. It conserves gasoline, saves money.
Bengals have the ball. Anderson 5 for 7, 154 yards. He's got Mike Cobb and Jim Corbett both in there at tight ends now. They want a little running room. He's got Tony Davis and Pete Johnson in the sled back. Well, ball back for a safety. Are they going to spot it across? They're going to spot it across. I think it's going to be spotted across. Giants thought they had one. I thought they had one for a brief moment. Troy Archer made the tackle.
Boy, Troy Archer. Now, you see him right at the left of your screen there. Now, the guard tried to block him to the outside. He dipped inside and came outside. Now, that's how quick Troy Archer is.
B. Johnson, the ball carrier, and he just got out.
Now, there's the goal line right here. Let's see where he's forward move. Lindsey, in my estimation, that is a safety.
It looked it for all the world. Second down play coming. From the end zone, Anderson throwing long to Brooks. The defender was Bill Bryant.
Brooks licking his chops over there, Lindsey. He had exactly what he wanted. Billy Bryant was back there man on man. He didn't have any inside help.
That'll bring up third down with the ball on the 1-yard line as Brooks returns to the huddle.
How about Brooks? Never started a game for Oklahoma. If you remember, he played behind Tinker Owens. Tinker Owens, of course, a brother of Steve Owens, always started. And Billy Brooks, I think senior year, he caught about 12 or 13 passes. They had a good day against Michigan in the Orange Bowl, but was the #1 draft choice.
Johnson's in the left side. Johnson's got the ball. He gets out there to the 4. And the punting unit comes on. Now the Bengals will be punting from deep in their own territory. It'll be McAnally. Back there to punt. Hammond has dropped back for the Giants. They've got Stanky back there as well. They've got Robinson back there. Giants will be trying to put all the pressure they can on McAnally here. He's been booming him today. Booms another. Look at this. Unreal. Hits on the 44-yard line of the Giants. It is rolling to the 31-yard line. And is down at the 31-yard line by Tony Davis. First and 10, Giants at their own 31.
65-yard punt. Boy, I'm telling you, these guys have done such a fantastic job of kicking. McAnally had 2 49-yard punts early, and he gets one for 65. There it is for the National Mythical Championship. And my man sitting to my left, Lindsey, 17 Cotton Bowls Lindsey Nelson has worked, and that's a record.
That means I spent 17 New Year's Eves in Big D.
That's right. I spent the last one with you. We had a ball down there.
First and 10 now. Pisarcik slipped a little on the retreat. Now throws long to Coder, and Coder can't hang on. Coder could not hang on to the football, bumped into Parrish. Marvin Cobb there.
Coder's still down. That's a tough catch. He got hit. Perfect timing that time by Marvin Cobb, the free safety. I tell you, Pisarcik, probably the best he's looked all year long, and even under these conditions. He puts it right on the money. Just a streak right down the inside. Now watch, he got hit right in the ribs. Right there by Marvin Cobb. Great timing on the play.
So Coder is down and getting attention.
He played right down the road here in Lexington, Kentucky, where the University of Kentucky had such an outstanding year. I tell you, football's on the upswing in Kentucky. University of Louisville's going to a bowl. Kentucky would have gone to a bowl. They'll be back next year.
60 minutes coming up at 7, 6 Central and Mountain Time on CBS. How did a tiny country like East Germany run away with 40 Olympic gold medals? That's one of the stories tonight on 60 Minutes on CBS. And there is the Bengals. Second down and 10 yards to go at the 31-yard line. Zonk on Hammond. Zonk is in the slot right. Sarchik. A little delay pass to Hammond. And he picked up about 8 yards. Got it to the 38. 39. Reggie Williams in to make the tackle. Make it 7 yards. 3rd and 7. 3rd and 3.
Doug Coder comes back in. He's all right. Just shaking up on that last play.
Coder and Hammond in the Giant backfield. 3rd and 3. Coder got the first down.
Good leg movement. Like kept his balance that time. And that's what you have to do in a field like this. Let's watch the offensive charge here. Center blocking left. That's Carl Chandler. The guard comes through, gets a standoff on the middle linebacker, and Coder just keeps his balance and nudges forward for the first down. Good running and good blocking under these conditions.
Now time is running out, and it has run out. We now pause for a word from your local station.
A radical group of vigilantes gets a new recruit, a somewhat naive Archie Bunker, tonight at 8, 7 Central and Mountain on CBS.
Paul Horning, I realize you haven't noticed it, but there's some very pretty people here
I
in
tell you, that's
Cincinnati.
a fresh look of winter, isn't it? They don't bother around here. That's some pretty ladies.
She doesn't even know it's snowing on her hat. First and 10 as we start the fourth quarter. Lindsey Nelson and Paul Horning in Cincinnati. First and 10 at the 41-yard line for the Giants. Cincinnati leading 27-6. Persarchik rolls right and sets. Pump Swanson throws. Incomplete. Trying to hit Shirk. Second and 10 at the 41-yard line. Bo Harris was covering. Minnesota 13, Green Bay 6 at the end of the half.
Within striking distance.
Minnesota leading the Chicago Bears by a half game in the Central Division of the National Football Conference.
And they got the easiest road, the Bears, the last couple of games. They play Tampa Bay next week.
Coder ahead of Hammond in the I formation. Persarchik. Shirk, incomplete.
Off his hand again.
Marvin Cobb covering third and 10 at the 41.
Well, Lizzie, you might as well go ahead and throw it every play almost, because I don't think Cincinnati's going to blitz that much. It takes so long to get to the quarterback, and boy, when you blitz, you get yourself in a man-to-man situation. A little slip in that secondary could cause 6. 12 out of 25 for 119 yards for Parkway Joe.
You saw the real Bengal a moment ago, and that's the ersatz Bengal. Third and 10. Persarchik. Oh, boy. Coy Bacon got there. Coy Bacon.
He led the league last year in sacks. They did not blitz. That Gary Burley, he's a cheerleader, isn't he? You got to be ready when you play alongside him. He gives you a couple forearms in the back. Here it is. Coy Bacon will come. Persarchik. Here comes 79, Coy Bacon.
So Dave Jennings has come in to do the punting now for the Giants. Davis is center deep.
Look at this. Beauty.
Davis has it at the 25. He's at the 30, 35, and to the 37-yard line.
45-yard punt by Jennings.
First and 10 for the Bengals at their own 37. Ellenbogen was downfield to make the tackle. So the score is the Bengals 27, the Giants 6, and we have 14 minutes, 29 seconds left to play in this game.
Sir, it's about time you're here. Another late night, I presume? Well, let's get started. The first thing we have for your assignment is this microcassette tape recorder.
Genius. Did you design this, sir?
Well, no, actually. It's a Sony. Next is this radio with 32 worldwide bands. Can tune in just about any place.
Extraordinary. Who gets the credit for this one?
This is a Sony, too. You'll also need this ultra-compact portable video camera, and we're going to mount this 5-inch color TV in your car, along with this Betamax deck for playback.
Remarkable. Are they,
Yes, they're Sony also.
Excuse me, sir, but did you just walk into a store and buy these?
Well, yes.
Well, keep up the good work, sir.
If it's a little extraordinary, chances are it's a Sony.
A little music to keep spirits high here in Cincinnati.
How'd you like to be a trumpet player in a day like this?
First and 10 for the Bengals at their own 37-yard line. Hey, Johnson.
You know, the Bengals haven't done a thing here in the second half, Lindsey. They just look like they're sitting on that lead, a 21-point lead. The Giants are just hoping for a turnover or some big break. Yeah, they blew an opportunity to put 7 on the board inside the 10-yard line. Hi there.
What's in the cup? Second down and 5 at the 42-yard line. Johnson again. And a first down and across into Giant territory.
There's Pete Johnson, the up back, the fullback. He's the leading rusher for the Bengals. He breaks a tackle there by Harry Carson. And he rumbles for the first down.
At the 44-yard line of the Giants. Paul, if my hands as a Cole, I can't hold a pencil, the ball player's hands must be a lot worse.
It sure is. And I've seen a lot of occasions where ball players would get frostbite after a game like this. They're putting their hands down in that snow, and even though they're using golf gloves and the whole thing, they get very, very cold and freeze up.
Pete Johnson again. Stopped after a gain of about 2 to the 42. That'll make it second down and 8. Harry Carson and Brian Kelly made the stop.
Yeah, most of your linemen will wear gloves. And most of your receivers today are using those golf gloves. They put Stickum on it. Holland right there, 76, he doesn't have any gloves on.
Second down play. Johnson again. Driving into the 35-yard line.
240 pounds.
Mendenhall was there on the tackle with Jim Stanky.
Johnson has 54 yards and 7 carries. There's the Giants' bench. There's the warm-up gloves. Now they've got all kind of help on the sidelines once you come out. First thing you do is you run to one of those ball boys or assistant trainers and grab whatever you can to keep warm.
They're down about 1.5 yards to go. Tony Davis in the left set, Pete Johnson in the right set. This is Davis. Burrow is through for the 1st and 10 as the Cincinnati Bengals keep their drive alive.
They're just eating up time off that clock now. Good offensive surge. There it is, a little cross blocking. You see the tight end, or almost see the tight end and tackle blocked down. The guard pulls out. Another angle. He slips, keeps his balance. Hand off to Tony Davis off the right side. He hits Brad Van Pelt, keeps his balance for a couple more.
It's at the 32-yard line, 1st and 10. Johnson. And inside the 30 and on down to the 27-yard line. Picked up about 5 to make it 2nd and 5. Harry Carson made the tackle. 4 inches of snow are expected now by the Weather Bureau, and the present temperature here in Cincinnati is 26 degrees. We have 10 minutes, 36 seconds remaining to be played in this game. And if you wondered where winter was, it arrived.
Here. It's right here.
Archie Griffin's in the left set, Pete Johnson in the right for the Bengals. That's Johnson again. He's getting a day's work.
Yep.
It's inside the 20-yard line.
And the offensive line now for Cincinnati beginning to really dominate on the running. They're just clearing them out. Pete Johnson has been a workhorse in this drive.
It is spotted at the 19-yard line, 1st and 10 for Cincinnati. The Bengals having come in here with a record of 5 wins and 5 losses. Brooks is in a wide right, McDaniel in a wide left. Johnson again, Pete Johnson.
Carson right there.
Got very little. Carson and Kelly. Call it 2nd and 10 at the 19. Glenn Bujnock comes in there at guard now.
Well, Anderson has been very content, Lindsay, to keep the ball on the ground, eating up that clock. It's down under 9 minutes now. And he's getting to a situation where he might put it upstairs. Is it 2nd and 10?
2nd and 10 at the 19-yard line. Archie Griffin. inside the 10. Stopped just at the 5-yard line, maybe the 6. Archie Griffin.
I tell you, he showed great balance today. He's made about 5 or 6 spinning moves off this turf after he's gotten hit. This offensive line just doing the job now. There it is. You can see guard pulls through. Linebacker does not come up quick enough, and Archie Griffin does the rest. Watch the hit here. Now he spins off this turf. He got hit by Jim Steineke and almost got in for 6. He fumbled the ball, but it was ruled he was already down.
That makes it first down and goal to go just outside the 5-yard line. Davis is in the left set, Tony Davis, and Pete Johnson's in the right set. First down and goal to go. Motion across. Tony Davis. No gain. Stopped at the 5-yard line.
Flag down on the far side.
Brian Kelly made the stop. Offsides is the indication, and it is against the Cincinnati Bengals. The Giants sideline. And there is Boyd Brown. Tight end.
Got hit by a snowball. Somebody just threw a snowball at him. Things are bad enough. Got to have fans hitting me with the head with snowballs.
Encroachment 81. Offense lined up offside. Down.
That's Jim Corbett.
He's got a touchdown pass today. His first.
Still first down. It's goal to go, and the ball's out the 10-yard line now. Archie Griffin in the left set. Pete Johnson in the right.
Going for number 4, Lynn.
Anderson throwing, and it's deflected out of the hands of Brooks. The last moment, Bill Bryant.
Billy Brooks was open for his 3rd touchdown pass of the day. From the end zone, Kenny Anderson just a half roll to the right. The pocket just moves over to the right. Troy Archer gets to the inside. Now Brooks is open, but just a good defensive play. You can't see it there at the end, but that's Billy Bryant sliding on his stomach.
It'll be a second down and goal to go. Out of the I formation, Johnson ahead of Archie Griffin. Archie Griffin pulled out.
Troy Archer was right there.
He was. Archer got to him. At the 14, 3rd and goal.
High from the end zone. See the guard pulling, but Troy Archer beat the penetration. You know, Lindsay, Kansas City next week for the Cincinnati Bengals. If they can beat Kansas City next week at Kansas City, they've got a date here. The Bengals with Pittsburgh on a Saturday, and they feel if they can win all 4 of them, they'll be in the playoffs.
3rd down and goal to go. You saw John McVay. Ken Anderson batted down at the line of scrimmage. That'll bring up a 4th and goal.
Archer got his hand up.
So here comes Chris Barr.
See if we can pick up the block here. There's number 77 with his hand up. There it is.
Troy Archer. Marvin Cobb is in to hold. A 32-yard attempt for Chris Barr. McVay. A 32-yard field goal attempt is good for Chris Barr. And the Cincinnati Bengals go out in front now by a score of 30-6. We have exactly 7 minutes remaining to be played in this game.
Here in Chicago, we're evaluating the world's first lightwave communication system, carrying our customers' voice, data, and video. A half-inch cable like this can contain enough glass fibers to carry as many phone calls as 6 of those copper cables. Besides increasing capacity, someday this system will help keep costs down. We've taken lightwave communications out of the labs. We've put it under the streets, and it's working.
Bell System Technology, keeping your phone system the best in the world.
Ford introduces Futura, a dramatic combination of styling and technology for 1978 and beyond. Futura, designed by computer modeling and aerodynamic testing. It can provide excellent fuel economy and room for 5 passengers as well. Futura, designed for 1978 and beyond. Realistically priced for today. See your Ford dealer for a personal test drive.
Cincinnati, in 12 plays, moved 49 yards and kept the ball 7-29. Chris Barr kicking off, sort of scribbed it a little bit. Picked up and dropped at the 25, returned up across the 30 to the 35-yard line, the 36-yard line.
That was Andy Selfridge.
Or Ralph Hill. So it is 1st and 10. Mixed Team Golf Championship coming up Saturday, December 3rd at 4 p.m. Eastern Time and Sunday, December 4th at 4 p.m. Eastern Time as well.
And that'll be Arnold Palmer, Sandra Palmer, defending champion Chichi Rodriguez, Joanne Warsham. The team highlight, Ben Crenshaw and Judy Rankin. I think that's a pretty good pair hitting the golf ball.
The Sarchik. Out to Hammond. Short yardage. Reggie Williams bounced him out. Pick up about 4 yards on the play. Moorhead coming into the huddle there, number 80. Emery Moorhead. Second down and 6 yards to go. Sarchik works the other side. Incomplete. Robinson. Jennings, the punter.
I tell you, the most amazing thing about this football game, folks, there has not been one turnover.
That's the way the punter stays
Loosens
warm.
up, that's right. But can you imagine in these kind of conditions, Lindsay, watching a football game without a turnover? It's tough enough on just a nice sunny day without a turnover.
3rd down and 6 for Sarchik. 13 for 27, 123 yards. For Sarchik on the right flat to Coder. He skates along. Perkins skates along beside him.
You're safe at 3rd. Looks like Pete Rose coming into 3rd base here. Here's a little screen pass, a little flare pass control out to the right side. Not a screen pass, it's just a safety valve. And Coder, depending on where they mark it, very close to the 1st down.
That's what they're discussing at the moment. Coder was trying to keep his balance long enough to get to those sticks. Referee Cal Lepore seems to be saying that it is 4th down. Giants seem to be saying we don't think so. Especially Doug Van Horn does not think so. But Lepore is the referee, and he said it's 4th down and less than a yard to go. Van Horn doubtless saying, how can you tell in the snow? 6 minutes left to play in the game. 4th down, less than a yard. The Giants trailing in this game, 30-6, going to go for it.
I love seeing him throw it here. What's the difference?
Hammond and Coder. Coder, and he got the 1st down with yards to spare. 1st and 10 for the Giants across the 50-yard line. Phillips coming up to make the stop.
Doug Coder right up the middle. He's going to be stopped by Ray Phillips, a rookie out of Nebraska. And Coder, again, most important thing, as I've said, is keeping your balance.
It's at the 49-yard line of the Cincinnati Bengals, 1st and 10. For Sarchik. Over the middle, and Robinson's got it, and he is pulled out at the 25-yard line.
viciously pulled down by Lamar Parrish. Jimmy Robinson, just on a post pattern from the end zone. He's got the time. I say Pisarcik has really thrown the ball well. There's Robinson wide open. And Lamar Parrish puts a good hit on him.
So the Giants have a drive underway here. First and 10 at the Bengals' 25-yard line. Cincinnati 30 and the Giants 6.
Might be the first game in the National Football League all year long where we haven't seen a turnover.
It's a turnout, and it is completed on the far side, taken by Ed Marshall. Is at the 21-yard line. Lamar Parrish, the cornerback over there. Picked up 4 yards on the play. 2nd and 6.
Robinson bringing in a play to Pisarcik.
Coder and Hammond in the backfield for the Giants. Pisarcik quarterbacking.
Mike! Mike! Mike!
Takes the handoff, play action, and guns it. And it is incomplete at the 7-yard line. Perkins could not hold on.
Right on the numbers. Should have had that
in the snow.
He should have had that one, Lindsey. You won't have an easier catch under these conditions. Lamar Parrish, big, broad grin.
Emery Moorhead has brought in the next play to Pisarcik, who is 16 for 31. 4 minutes, 21 seconds left in the game. Pisarcik throwing. Hammond has it. Out of bounds about the 17. Ray Phillips on the tackle.
Here it is, play action. There's not too much of a thing on play action here because they did blitz on this situation. They got a man-to-man setup. Ray Phillips covering the back. Pushes him out.
Another 4th down circumstance now for the Giants. 4th and 2 at the 17. Pisarcik calling the play on the huddle now. Bengals are leading 30-6 over the Giants with 4:16 left. Pisarcik upended Johnny Perkins.
Was he hit?
1st and 10 Giants.
I tell you, he got upended and really hit right on his neck.
Ken Riley made the hit.
And the Giants are a little bit upset. He thought it was a completed pass. He really got a shot there. Ruled incomplete.
Ruled incomplete is right, and the ball goes over. Look at it.
There's Marshall. He hit right on his head. Did not have control of it. That's Johnny Perkins. He goes up with the ball. He's hit. You must have it for at least. As soon as he comes down, he loses the football.
And so the ball goes over to the Cincinnati Bengals on the incompletion. They'll take it 1st and 10. Have it at their own 17-yard line with 4:07 to play.
I thought it was complete.
Just listen to that. That's just one of the great original hits in this exclusive new Firestone Christmas album. This is a really big collection of all-time favorite Christmas classics with many of the artists who made them famous. It's yours for only $1.69. 8-track tape, $1.99. At Firestone stores and dealers just about everywhere. Merry Christmas, everybody.
You work in the sky with nothing to hold on to but the wind and a cold steel beam. And it's a very long day until a whistle blows telling you it's Miller time. Time for the best tasting beer you can find. Miller High Life, America's quality beer since 1855.
You've got the time, we've got the beer. Miller beer.
1st and 10 now with the Bengals. They have the ball at their own 17-yard line. 4 minutes, 7 seconds left to play. Cincinnati 30 and the Giants 6. Pete Johnson up to the 20-yard line before George Martin brought him down. It'll be 2nd down and 7 for Cincinnati. Weeb Eubank, former head coach of the New York Jets and general manager, is here as a spectator today.
Oh, and he looks great, too. I talked to him at halftime. He's feeling good.
2nd down and 7 yards to go. And on the snap with quarterback John Reeves in there, it's Bobble. Reeves, the quarterback, and it was Bobble, and Pete Johnson got on the ball.
4th quarter, Pittsburgh, 10-point lead over the Jets.
14-yard line back there.
I think that Houston 8-point lead.
Makes it 3rd down and 9 yards to go.
There it is. Houston 14, Kansas City 6.
Reeves is the quarterback. Pete Johnson up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. And on 4th down, Pat McAnally, the punter, comes out. Jack Gregory and Gary Jeter made the stop for the Giants. We are approaching the 2-minute warning. We have wound down to 2:25 now. Hammond has dropped back, trying to keep his hands warm.
Well, it's been amazing. No turnovers, and the punters have just been excellent. McAnally got off, 65 yards the last time?
He did. They stopped the clock just to get another ball on field. It'll start again when the ball is marked ready for play. Down to 2:16. And now they're going to let it wind right on down to the 2-minute warning. It's 2:03, 2:02, 2:01, and that's that. We have 2 minutes remaining to be played in this game, which has been played in the snow here in Cincinnati.
This realistic 40-channel CB radio is on sale right now at your nearby Radio Shack for the unbelievable low price of $49.95. That's 50% off our catalog price. And our realistic Model 466 is ready to use on all 40 CB channels. For under $50, get the convenience and security of two-way CB communication today. The sale-priced realistic 40-channel CB radio, only at Radio Shack, a Tandy company.
How much should you expect from a great camera? Polaroid's SX70 lets you shoot automatically, very close, or very far away, in lots of light, or hardly any. Shoot every second and a half, and have beautiful pictures in minutes. No other camera in the world does it all. The SX70 Alpha 1.
We have 2 minutes remaining to be played. Cincinnati 4th down has McAnally in to do the punting. Hammond is center deep to receive it for the Giants. Cincinnati is leading by a score of 30-6. 6 punts, and McAnally in the snow has averaged 44 yards, and that is some kind of kicking.
It is fantastic.
Robinson rows up, makes the catch on the run, gets across the 50 to the 45, still going. And is stopped near the 40-yard line of Cincinnati by Bo Harris.
Fine catch on a dead run.
A final score, Atlanta has defeated Tampa Bay 17-0, and this will not be the day that Tampa Bay finally wins.
Well, let's see, 24 straight for Tampa Bay.
It's at the 40-yard line of the Cincinnati Bengals in Giant possession. Coder and Spencer. are the setbacks. Pisarcik, penalty marker at the line of scrimmage. Incompleted pass intended for Coder. There's a marker at the line of scrimmage. Well, the Rams are leading by a score of 9-0 over Cleveland in the fourth quarter.
Well, and I'll tell you, when the Cincinnati Bengals find this out, you think they're not going to be happy about that. 9-0 Cleveland.
Offside, Cincinnati will make it 1st and 5, and the Giants will move the ball to the Cincinnati 35.
So that'll put Cleveland with the same record as Cincinnati, and Pittsburgh will be all alone. If the Rams can hold on, Pittsburgh will be on top by a game.
First down.
That is if Pittsburgh wins today and they're leading.
1st down and 5 for the Giants at the Cincinnati 35. 1:44 on the clock. Emery Moorhead's under the wide receiver. Hammond and Coder are the setbacks now.
Well, they haven't moved the chains yet, Lindsay, if it's 1st down.
It's 1st and 5, what it is.
Let's see.
Pisarcik skids, and now he throws, and it is complete at the 16-yard line. It is Moorhead, made the diving catch. Ken Johnson on the tackle.
There's number 80, Lindsay. Emery Moorhead. He just goes down, turns in over the middle. He's wide open, right on the numbers. He's down, and the Giants may get a score after all.
They have the ball now at the 10-yard line, and it is Pisarcik throwing, and Hammond takes it out of bounds in the corner. Hammond has it at the 1 or 2 yard line. Ken Riley.
Pisarcik again. Play action. And he's got good pass protection this time. He finds Hammond on the outside, and he's going to step out of bounds inside the 3 yard line. 1st and goal.
Giants trying for their second touchdown of the day. You see the time and set. 1:09 just now. Coder. Right to the goal line, but did not get in apparently. California said stop the clock till we get them all unstacked here. 1 minute, 1 second left.
He looked like he got in, but we do not know. I don't think the referees know actually where the goal line is. Look at him. He's got his hand there, Lindsay. There's the goal line, he says. Right there. Were we over it or not?
That's it. Now the clock is running with 58 seconds left. Cincinnati's leading 30-6. Coder and Hammond. Coder, touchdown.
He got in that time, didn't he?
I thought he did. No signal from the officials, so as you were.
You got to be kidding me. Now let's see. We're right on the line of scrimmage. Here comes Coder. We really can't tell from here whether he got in. Let's take another angle.
The officials say he did not get in.
Well, he looks like he's forward. Momentum went across that goal line from this vantage point, although you cannot really tell. They got a better angle of it there, but it looked as if, if you take 3 or 4 steps, hit into a pile and your momentum's going. And
it's 3rd down. Spencer's in and Hammond is out. 3rd down and inches. Willie Spencer on the left side. Quarterback sneak, Pisarcik, touchdown! This time, Pisarcik kept it and took it in for the touchdown.
They go for 2.
So it's 30-12. 15 seconds left to play in the game. Conversion attempt coming.
Just Pisarcik on a quarterback sneak off the right side behind Hickson. Right guard John Hicks.
Joe Danello is to attempt the conversion with Larry Mallory holding.
Well, the big plays in the first half has been the story of this ball game. Anderson's 3 touchdown passes. He had completed 4 out of 4 for 3 touchdown passes. Nobody rushed the extra point.
Kick is good. And so, with 15 seconds left to play in the game, it is Cincinnati 30 and the Giants 13.
Can I get you something else?
Yeah. An ambulance.
Americans overeat more than anyone. But what's really getting fat is the cost of health care.
Oh, one more piece won't hurt, dear.
Blue Cross and Blue Shield plans have programs to hold costs down. But everybody needs to help.
Son, when you eat like this, I just love you to death.
There is no free lunch. Sooner or later, we all pay for it.
All of us helping each other.
This drop is too little to cover the head of a match. Yet this is enough adhesive, super strong, super fast to lift 2.5 tons. It's Duro Super Glue. A drop will do to mend jewelry, ceramics, rubber, and glass in only 10 seconds. It truly is super strong and super fast. Super Glue. A drop will do. Super Glue. A product of Loctite Technology.
Danilo is kicking off the Giants, tries an onside kick. Scramble is on in the snow, but Bengals appear to have retained possession of the ball at about the 48-yard line of the Giants. 11 seconds on the clock. First and 10 for the Bengals in Giant territory at the 48. Cincinnati leading by a score of 30-13.
I'll tell you one thing. I live about 100 miles from here in Louisville. It's going to take me about 10 hours to get home tonight.
Reeves is still quarterbacking in relief of Ken Anderson. Griffin and Johnson. 2 whistles, a little contact, a little of this and that. And now the clock is running. We're at 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second, and that's that. The gun sounds ending the ball game. Cincinnati Bengals are now 6-5, and the Giants are 4-7. And a game that was played for the most part in the snow, and that is the final. Cincinnati 30, the Giants 13 at Riverfront Stadium in Cincinnati. And they head now into the tunnel, leads to the locker rooms and the warmth of the dressing rooms after having spent the afternoon here on a snow-covered field. It snowed throughout the ball game, having snowed this morning, and then it started again early in the ball game and snowed throughout, and it was played mostly on a snow-covered field.
We put a little blue jean in everything we make.
First 100 years, all we grew here was Levi's blue jeans. Helped the West grow strong. But now we've added a whole new crop. New fabrics, new colors, new styles. Of course, the roots still go right down to these blue jeans, so folks know they're getting Levi's quality. Because here at Levi's, we put a little blue jean in everything we make.
Now Black & Decker has come along with a handyman's helper that's mighty strong. It's small and light, but it pulls its weight. It's the super incredible workmate. Yeah, it's more than a bench and more than a vise. It's got both things working, and that's kind of nice. You can pound on it, a saw on it, a plane of door on it, and a whole lot more. Yeah, when you're alone and there's work to do, the workmate'll help you see it through.
Pittsburgh leading.
Final score here this afternoon, 30-13, as the Cincinnati Bengals defeated the Giants. And here are the scores. Final score, Atlanta defeated Tampa Bay by a score of 17-0.
24 straight losses for the Buccaneers. Let's see if we can pick up some other scores. I think L.A. is leading Cleveland. That's a big game for Cincinnati.
Final score.
Final score, 9-0 over Cleveland. So that means that Pittsburgh, I think they were leading. They'll be a game in front by themselves.
New England in the fourth quarter is leading the Philadelphia Eagles by a score of 14-0. And Pittsburgh and the New York Jets. Pittsburgh is leading 23-20 in the fourth quarter.
If the Jets could pull that out, everybody will be tied. Unbelievable.
Minnesota is still leading the Green Bay Packers by a score of 13-6 in the third quarter.
And the Bears would love to see the Packers score there, wouldn't they? They would be tied if Green Bay could win. The Bears would be tied with Minnesota for the league lead.
Houston 14-6.
Hello, everybody. Alaska. Tough on people, tough on oil filters. So we took Motorcraft oil filters to Alaska, testing them in 50 GM, Chrysler, and Ford cars and trucks. After 6 rugged months of Alaskan pipeline country, from winter's freeze to the hot, choking dust of summer, only one oil filter couldn't take the punishment. This is Lowell Thomas reminding you, no matter what you drive, wherever you drive, ask for Motorcraft oil filters from Ford. Tested tough in Alaska. So long.
America, you've been changing.
Coming, going, changing, growing, the things that make up life.
Why is Bank AmeriCard becoming Visa? To keep up with you.
You're traveling, you're moving, you're taking more from life.
Today you need money that's good around the corner, all across America, and in 117 countries around the world. That's why Bank AmeriCard is becoming Visa, the most widely recognized card in the world. Visa, we're keeping up with you.
Here at Cincinnati, the final score was the Cincinnati Bengals 30 and the New York Giants 13. A game played in the snow at Riverfront Stadium in Cincinnati, Ohio. So the Cincinnati Bengals have a record of 6 wins and 5 losses. The New York Giants have a record of 4 wins and 7 losses. Produced by Charles Milton III.
There's 3 of them like him. I'd like to see it, right?
Lindsey Nelson with Paul Horning. Stay tuned as the NFL Today continues after this word from your local station.
A monster that thrilled the nation is back, and he holds the fate of a beautiful girl in his hands. Don't miss the return of the Incredible Hulk tomorrow night on CBS.